James D'Amato, your host and game master, and I got a bit of a cold this week, but that's all right because you know what goes great with colds? Drinking beer.
Hey.
And we are about to drink a lot of beer because we are playing Unlabeled, the blind beer tasting game. Before we dive into that, I want to introduce to you some of the folks that I'm playing with this week. I'm going to start over at the end of the table with Eli Mandel.
Hello.
Eli, why don't you introduce yourself to the people? Where might they know your work?
Oh boy, so many places. My name's Eli Mandel. This is the part that I fucked up on last time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're doing great now. You're knocking it out of the park.
I'm Eli Mandel. You may know me from the improvised Star Trek podcast.
Boom!
There we go.
Name drop.
There we are.
There we are.
I play acting Dr. Rip Stipley and other characters as well. And then I do improv at other things too. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us,
And
Eli.
what else?
That was just the first of many.
What was your high school GPA?
I think I had, if you don't include my freshman year, it was a 4.0.
Wow. Hey, that's pretty good.
Wow.
All right.
I'm probably lying.
Tough act to follow. Christian Bird, how are you going to follow it up?
Yeah. I definitely did not do that well in high school. My name is Christian Bird. I'm the pub brewer for Burnt City Brewing here in Chicago.
Woo!
And that's probably the only thing I'm known for. That, and I say shit on Twitter every once in a while.
Well, and Christian, you're a familiar face around here. You've been on a couple one-shot
I
streams.
think this is like my third time, but my first time in the Pocket Dimension.
In the Pocket Dimension, yeah. Christian's on some of our classic streams that you can see on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us, and thank you so much for bringing some of some beer that I'm very excited.
I'm happy to drink.
Thank you for drinking.
But I also
our
brought beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And finally, we have a new face to the One Shot Twitch stream, and that's Scott Pibenga.
Yes, sir. And I'm happy to be here. As James said, my name's Scott. Technically, it's Pibenga. But
Is it Pibenga?
Yeah, but I answer to Pibenga, Pibenga, any version of that. I really will answer. But
well, the One Shot audience can tell you I fuck up names constantly, mostly theirs. So, hey,
Awesome.
It's probably a good shift for me to be fucking up a guest's name now.
But feel free to continue with it. I am an improviser in Chicago. I perform with the Herald team Devil's Daughter at I.O. Chicago, Tuesday nights at 10:30 in the Close Theater. In my other life, I'm an adult skateboarder who tries to recapture my glory years Saturday mornings between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. at Grant Park.
Nice. This is he's establishing a foundation for things that are to come. But let's turn our attention to Unlabeled. Pat, can we get an overhead shot? So what we're working with right now on Unlabeled is an unfinished game. I actually think the board design is finalized, but a lot of what you see here is pre-production. Unlabeled is on Kickstarter right now, and the point of this game is to drink a lot of different types of beer. Let's bring back to the wide, I think. Is to drink a lot of different types of beer and try and guess, based on our limited knowledge of beer, what kind of beer we're drinking. You'll notice around the board here, there are several different categories for different beers and different colored barrels. We're only going to be playing with 4 people, but everybody choose your barrel.
Blue.
And I will go for red. Yellow is going to be sitting out this time. So, the way Unlabeled works is very, very simple. Every round, there is going to be somebody who is acting as the beer master. The beer master has a beer. I have this beer that I've ripped the label off of, and they will give everybody a sampling of their beer. The game recommends about 3 to 4 ounces per person, because you don't want to get too drunk on this stuff, just enough to give you a sense of the flavor. Everybody will have the opportunity to drink some of the beer, and then you will try to sort out what categories you think that beer falls into. The categories that we have around the board, we've got the general beer types. We've got porters, stouts, bocks, specials, blah, 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 blah. So many different...
Very scientific.
I thought I was going to name everything, but then I looked around and there are like a dozen different categories.
There are a lot of beer styles.
Fuck that, huh? Yeah, so, I mean, that's basically Christian's problem. I don't have to know all that stuff. Christian probably
I don't
has
act
to.
like I know any of this stuff.
You don't need to act like you know it. You probably do need to know
I
it.
should know it, but I don't act like I know it. That's,
We know the most, whereas we'll shoot our mouths off and not know.
So,
I can't wait for the most hilariously wrong answer.
it will probably be me.
and each of those categories breaks down into more specific categories within. And on the outside edge of the board here, we have fermentation type, like coming out to like the widest thing that you could know about the beer, or its alcohol content range. So if you guess correctly the alcohol type and fermentation type, you will get 1 point at the end of the round. If you manage to guess the general beer category, you get 2 points. If you manage to go down even further to the subcategory, you get 3 points. And if you can name the exact beer, you will put your piece in the middle and you will just straight up call the beer.
Oh, wow.
Like Babe Ruth, but with alcohol, so Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
You will be able to just call the beer. So, I have my sampling of my own beer. Everybody grab your cups. And it's time to sample this beer. Now, I originally had planned to bring glass cups for the stream, so it would be a little bit easier for people to maybe see the hue of a beer. And
they're all
make their guesses
red.
a little
These
bit.
are all ambers.
Yeah.
It's all amber ales. All the
Mine's got
time.
a Wookiee in it.
So we'll let them muse over that. People in the stream, you you can't play along with us, really.
They can. They'll just be wrong about whatever
Yeah.
we are.
I think what they should do is they should pick a beer, drink it until they can't recognize it, and then guess what it is.
Hey, that's what I'm doing.
Or you drink a beer, and like when you get drunk enough, you'll hit a state where you can taste all other beers that are being drunk around the world, and like you just got to
that
tap
state
into
of
us.
beer nirvana.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So do we like just do wild guesses, or do we only like say like this is not what I'm going to say. I know it's not this, but
You can talk through it. There's a discussion period
Oh, okay.
where you guys are allowed to like sort of feel each other out and maybe lead each other astray.
Sure.
Okay. Ooh, wow.
Sure. So we have the one option to place. So it's a stage. We can either place as low as
Oh, okay.
Fermentation.
what
or
my
get
question
specific,
was.
or
Alright.
go for what we think exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what my
It's based
question
on your confidence level, Eli.
For sure.
If you feel like, yeah, I know a saison, I know a saison from a porter, I can like nail this right away.
What's the difference, James?
From porter and saison,
Sure.
I think porter is going to be more savory. Saison is spicier.
People in the chat are calling you a beer expert.
No, that is very wrong.
That is very true.
There's a lot of
James knows more than all of us combined.
Christian was just talking some serious game before the stream started about how he knows everything about beer.
That's funny because that's not on record, so they can't actually believe what you're saying.
Can't believe the lies.
Right.
And
So
Scott was
what
saying
do you
some
guys
racist
think
shit.
of? Whoa. Yeah,
I think
About
it's
yeah.
but mostly about Germans. This is weird.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Let's move on.
yeah.
So what do we think of this beer? What are we noticing about it?
Are we placing
say.
guesses?
I mean, well, you're not placing guesses.
We're just
This is
discussing
discussion. This is
characteristics.
discussion.
We're just-
Yeah.
yeah.
So like in Unlabeled, like you taste the beer, you get to discuss it amongst each other. The person who is the beer master is encouraged not to be a part of that discussion because I don't want to lead you guys
know
astray.
too much.
Sure.
Because I know what it is,
Sure.
and I can like fuck you guys up,
Yeah.
and you don't want that.
I'll start by saying when I first took a whiff of it, when I was smelling it, I thought it was going to be more citrusy than it was. I was already kind of skewing towards something weedier or like more citrusy than when I ended up tasting it, and I got a little more bitterness. When I actually drank it, it's got a pretty sharp bitterness on the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought I had a very good guess as to what the shininess of the can as to what.
Oh, you were just trying to like
you were
meta the
serious.
can.
But I was wrong. But I wasn't as wrong as I thought it was going to be. I thought that I thought it was going to be an extremely hoppy beer based on the can. I thought I could guess. I thought I could game the system, but I can't.
Yeah, this is actually one of those cans from an indie brewery where they just have a sticker on the label now.
Did you think it was spiteful?
No.
No, okay.
But it was not as hoppy as what I assumed that it might have been. And other than that, I don't want to give anything else away.
I mean, I think it's definitely a very sort of light style.
While y'all are talking, I'm going to grab the label real quick.
Okay,
wow.
So
and
you
one
can have
thing
the big
that has
reveal.
come up in the chat is that you guys should play this strip poker style.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Challenge accepted.
is it based off of like we take off less clothes the more accurate we are?
Just get naked.
I get it. I get it.
I don't think you know what this stream is.
Okay.
You want to be famous, don't you? I mean, it's definitely on the lighter side, and from what I can see through the glass, it is very light and clear. Not super hoppy. Like you're right. There's bitterness for flavor, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not like a overwhelmingly hoppy beer.
Not like
no.
floral or
I enjoy,
citrusy. Yeah,
I'm skewing into some of this stuff.
definitely.
Yeah. And I was pointing at the pale ale section.
I'm actually going to go ahead and make a guess.
Ooh, Christian's
Hot dog.
dropping those stones on the table.
And I'm going to select American wheat beer.
Whoa.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So, okay. Cool. I understand how this game works now. All right. So we make a guess. Okay, cool. I get it. I get the game now.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to say that this is a Belgian pale ale.
Ooh. Oh, you're going all the way down to Belgian. You're not just in the pale ale
Okay.
category.
So that's what my question was.
So yeah, you can do
I
as Christian
see.
did.
Yeah.
If you
okay.
were right about this, you will get 2 points.
So if I did this, and I was wrong, would I get 0
You
points?
get 0 points if you're wrong,
Even if it's a pale ale?
even if it's a pale ale.
I'm going pale ale.
Interesting. And are the points zero sum? Like if they get the points, then I do not for the round?
No, everybody, like if everybody makes the same guess and is right,
You all get
everybody
the
gets the
points.
points.
And everybody takes off their clothes.
And everybody takes off their clothes. We're all getting laid.
I'm going to roll the dice a little bit and actually go for a specific.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I didn't say blonde ale.
All right, so now as the beer master, I get to reveal what you've been drinking. And it is
piss.
snakes. You've just been look at your glass again. It's live snakes.
God.
So no, this is Around the Bend's Ghost of Electric City.
It's a Kolsch.
It's a Kolsch.
Oh my god.
I had a feeling.
I actually should know this. I know. You know why I should know this? Because this beer is brewed out of our production facility. They contract their beer out of our production facility right now.
Oh boy, wow. Yeah, maybe
fired.
you should have known that.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I don't brew at that facility. I brew at the brew pub, so I'm not. But I should know that.
Yeah, that's a Kolsch. You can't avoid it. So, Scott, you were very close, but right now it is Eli who is
Snaps.
in the lead with 2 points.
Oh,
Two big
man.
ones on the
All right.
board.
I know it's so easy to say this, and I went with what I got. But Kolsch was one of the things that was sort of going through the roster in my head. Of like it was one thing that passed my mind.
I think that's what I like about this game is like that's going to happen often. Like you'll have these moments where like I think I know it, but you like back off a little
Yeah.
bit. Or you just lean into the wrong place. Like
And I'm wondering now,
Dog. These points are my points. They're in there.
now going forward, I'm thinking I got to trust my nose a little less. Because the nose, what I was initially smelling was just that like sweeter. I thought I had some notes of citrus that I think I was following that, but I should have gone with the taste. Because the taste, I think I would have had it.
Yeah.
And for those curious, alcohol by volume, 4.9. So
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, so okay.
How are we able to just go on guessing the alcohol without guessing the rest of the beer?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. You can do that. That is 1 point, and
For
the
sure.
ABV.
I think that's the hardest thing to judge, though, for me.
Well, see, the ABV, it's going to cover broader categories.
Yeah.
There are so many of these beers and beer styles that are going to follow in those channels.
Okay.
I feel like almost alcohol. I would like to have a second little scorer just for alcohol. Like you choose the style, and then you also on top of that could gamble on.
That's cool. I would like to see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to see an accompanying app for this game.
That would also be pretty interesting.
to deal with the beer catalogs and whatnot. So I guess finish your beers because
Done.
we don't
I
have
already had done
rotating glasses.
I went through the motions of pretending I hadn't finished it, but I haven't.
I don't want to come off like I drink too fast.
So Beer Master is going to pass to the next person. I think Eli's in the lead.
All
He'd be
right.
at the other end
I
of the
feel
table.
like that makes sense.
So I just choose one of these?
So
Choose one of the ones you know.
So you can grab we can't know what it is. So
Okay.
Yeah.
if you're going to choose from the 6-pack, I recommend pulling that
Yeah,
aside.
You know,
I would love if you brought the GoPro with you so the audience knows what beer it is.
All right.
Oh.
Here we
I
go.
hope it stretches this far.
Do I go like this?
Everyone else, avert your eyes.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, we are.
Here, I'm going to put all the beers
You're
on
going
the
to
floor.
see
Yeah,
as
all right,
Eli sees.
Do I, is there a way
Cutting to
clip
the
it?
Eli Cam.
Eli Cam.
All right, and performers, please.
Too much bill. Too
right.
much bill.
There's a lot of bill in there. It's all right.
Well, you don't actually need craft beer friends, Joe. You just need people to drink with who won't mind trying different things.
I think you
is
just
true.
described drinking buddies. Or
Yeah.
craft beer
Uh-oh.
buddies.
I destroyed the GoPro.
We're still on
You're
you.
still-
We're
you're
still
still-
on you.
You still have image.
Oh God!
Now I destroyed it.
All right, it just had to jump. All
right, it's back, it's back.
It's back? All right, cool. Close your eyes.
Why did?
I don't even know where to look.
All right, here we go. Pull that 6-pack aside.
I'm just gonna study the board.
Yeah,
I'm going to study the board.
And one of the things that they recommend with this, I think, would make this game a lot easier, is to take it to a
Bring that
bar.
label a little closer, buddy.
Take it to a bar when you're out
There we
drinking
go.
with your friends and order a flight.
Yeah. I can see that. And like a brew pub or a bar.
It'll all be by the same brewery. Like it'll be easier, I think, for people to categorize things.
Yeah.
All right, going back to wide so you don't have to deal with the GoPro.
All right, now people I think do need to close their eyes because
You're going to pour
I'm not
it.
going to take the label off.
You're
of
gonna,
this beer.
yeah. and-
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Solid.
cool. Oh, or I could just do it over here.
All right.
Away from us.
Or I could
As-
inconvenience myself.
As we
Small
get
way.
to the center
sure
with
Christian
Christian and Scott, I mean, honestly, we could have Pat just be the eternal beer master and
Yeah.
just bring us new beers.
For sure.
Oh, I see what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely.
I mean, he's doing the super important job of
he's being the man behind the
switching
curtain.
angles.
Yeah, and I'm also drinking my own beer that I keep guessing right.
Oh,
I haven't gotten it wrong yet, so I probably need another one.
Okay, let me think. All right.
all right. So we got another. Looks like another light one, boys. And now we're gonna get in the part where like the scent of this is gonna mingle with the scent of the other beers.
Here, I'll take my guess off.
Yeah. All right.
Boy. Okay. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot lighter, huh?
Man.
Sorry I didn't switch it up enough. I also poured you guys a lot more, I think, than we got last time. So yeah, you're welcome.
I think that was about 2 ounce.
That's why they call him Eli Generous Poor Mandel.
Because of an unrelated game.
When I was born, I don't want to finish that.
Yeah.
Wait, you were born a Jedi?
Yeah, when I was born, I was a Jedi. And then I forgot about it.
Yeah. Again, really light.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting any of the bitterness that I got before.
I know,
It's much smoother.
And that's why I want to go back. Like, I think for me, just light beers just apparently taste weedy because I want
Yeah,
to go
no.
back.
Yeah.
To,
I got to tell you, honestly, I am between wheat beer and pale, like, I guess maybe pale lager? I don't know.
I'm gonna do.
Maybe Pilsner even.
I'm gonna go wheat beer right now.
wheat beer.
go there.
I just
Plain's more safe.
so I think that is a safer thing because like Pilsner, I don't know, doesn't have like the same kind of bitter that I would expect with a Pilsner, but because these are all sort of like nerdy ass beers.
Yeah.
I think the chance that it's a Pilsner is so much lower.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and go for an easy layup here, and go for wheat beer.
Stay in the general.
Drink every time beer is mentioned. Yeah, this is a great, this is a great drinking game for us.
boy.
A great drinking game for you.
Oh boy.
The Joe H with a slam dunk, man. Every time.
Every time someone says a word, you take a shot.
All right, I am going to go Saison.
Ooh.
Because the difference between wheat and Saison for me is very hard to distinguish.
All right.
This could pay off
So
for Christian
I
in a
feel
big
like
way.
it's got some of that like more spicy Saison flavor than straight up wheatiness.
With all the guesses on the board, Eli.
Folks,
What's up?
well, let's say that you were in a desperate hunger in the olden times, and you need something to fulfill the entire stomachs of your court, what have you. So you would do nothing. You do not make just a couple of tacos or anything for your friends.
No.
You prepare an entire banquet.
Hot dog!
It would.
It was Coors Banquet Beer, which is technically what is this, like a Pilsner or something?
Yeah, that would have been a Pilsner.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Straight out of the Clear Creek in Colorado.
And like you guys got to hear it on air. You got to hear me talk myself out of a Pilsner.
Yeah.
I had it. I fucking
Or
had
is it
it.
a
we-
lager? I don't know.
Can you not post the record of this stream just for my own benefit? Yeah. Like,
I
can this
just-
not go up on YouTube? I don't want people to know how terrible I am at this game.
I
This is great advertising for Coors.
you think it was a Saison?
I know.
it was a
It's,
Saison.
I know.
Banquet, baby.
My palate is garbage.
How did I not get that? I should have been like, oh, it's a domestic.
It's
oh.
really bad.
I have the distinct advantage of being sick, so that
So everything
can be
just
my
tastes the same
excuse.
to you, yeah.
Yeah. I was once in a focus group for a Coors Banquet commercial,
Ooh.
and it was a sexist commercial, and I told them so.
Oh, fun.
and then the guy was like, "Let me guess, you have an older sister?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Gotcha." And I was
Wow! Wait, let me guess. You've met a woman. Yeah, this guy's opinion does not fucking count.
Yeah. And then I saw the commercial with absolutely no changes on, and it, in practice, was a lot less sexist than I remembered.
Oh boy.
But anyway,
All right. So that brings us to Christian. Christian, you are now the beer master.
All right.
Make sure you know which one you're picking.
You can confound
Crucial.
and befuddle us
Yeah.
to maybe win back some of your. Okay.
I mean, I don't get points if I trick you, but it gives me, I guess, maybe a chance to.
I feel like if nobody gets it, you should get a point. 0 points awarded for wrong guesses.
Christian's got a knife.
it's fine.
Knife on the course.
It's fine.
Oh wait, never mind. Scott,
up?
it looks like you are owed 1 point.
How so?
Because if you
Because everyone got it wrong.
Yeah. No. That would be Eli.
Oh, if Eli got it.
But Scott gets a point because he corrected the incorrect style, but he got the correct category.
Oh,
So
I like that.
that's worth 1 point still. So
I'm on
back,
board.
back in the previous
Oh,
round,
sure.
when
Because he
had-
got pale.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because he knew it was a pale, but he didn't know it was a Kolsch.
So if you call the category, you get 2 points. If you
call
call
the
the specific
category, you
beer
get
but get it wrong, but it's in the right category, you get 1 point.
Exactly.
okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I don't have to
Even-
hide this because this is not labeled in any way.
Even with a game as simple as this, we still managed to get the rules wrong the first time.
I think every
wow.
week we're getting at least one rule wrong.
Hey,
We have to
right?
finish this whole
I love
thing
it.
by the
Yeah,
end of the
no,
round.
that's
Yeah.
You'll just taste it
that's
again
the
later.
rule. When the container opens,
House rule.
Wow. Okay. Here we are.
That's a generous pour.
Yeah.
oh yeah, already.
I think I got this. Nailed it.
I mean, this is
It's hoppy.
yeah, it's very hoppy.
This is our first
we,
hoppy beer.
yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta say that's an IPA, right?
It's definitely an IPA. I mean, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an IPA. I'm also getting some of that piney taste or like floral
Yeah, the
stuff
floral
that's
stuff is
popping.
for sure in there.
And I'm not like it's not. I don't. Maybe a double. Maybe that's somewhat I'm tasting.
See, I absolutely don't know the difference between any of these IPAs.
Yeah.
Except for I'm fairly sure an English IPA is not as hoppy as an American IPA.
That would be what I would assume as well.
Because Americans always do it more.
Yeah.
And this,
Thanks, Pat.
It's always bigger and better.
And the English IPAs are literal, in casks on ships to India.
yeah.
I honestly feel like that story is not
Probably not right.
It's not. Like I hear a lot of people tell the story of like, oh, IPAs where they were hoppier and bitter to help preserve the beer, so it would make it to India.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It does. Like hops do have a slight preservative quality, but it's mostly because people really like the flavor, so more places made them.
Also, kind of weird that there's a style of IPA, everything except Indian IPA.
Yeah.
There's no, it's all American IPA, English IPA.
So what is this? All right, never mind. Because I didn't want to give away my answer.
Because you have one?
I think I do.
Really? How specific are you getting?
I'm going to go specialty IPA.
Okay.
Because what does that mean? I'm
That
assuming...
seems like a pretty broad category.
Yeah. I would think specialty IPA would mean something that had alternate ingredients than what you would get with a normal IPA, or
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going
Then
to
I'm gonna keep it there.
play it a little safer and just go IPA. Just stay in the category.
That's the smart move.
yeah.
That was also like a cool strategic move because he's got more points. I'm gonna go wild guess here. I'm gonna say I know the goddamn beer.
What?
Yeah.
Now I do have to ask. So we know this came out of a growler from Burnt City.
Yes, and that is informing.
But it's one of those things where he has to get the name of the beer right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's a wash.
And he does have the advantage of.
And do you win
drinks.
the game if you do that? Or
No, you get 5 points.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
it is a very valuable thing, but like it's so easy to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
wrong. So let's. I'm gonna say I think it is Face Melter.
It is not.
Damn it!
Oh!
Yeah, so Face Melter is our hibiscus IPA. But
That
this
does
is
not bode well for me
that
because
is
I
not
thought-
this, and so that is also it is not a specialty IPA.
'Cause I thought-
this
I tasted it.
this is an American session IPA, but it's an American IPA called Orb Weaver.
Orb Weaver. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really good, man.
It's a-
I
It's
don't
a
like
Weaver.
IPA, but this
Yeah.
is
So
Wider than a mile.
This is very, very new, and this is a pilot batch. The name is going to change, and we're doing this beer with
Orb Toucher.
no, it's going to be
The picture of Donald
Yeah.
Trump on the.
This is a beer that we're going to be officially making out of our production facility with the Art Institute of Chicago for the new Go Gone exhibit that's opening later on this month.
This just got highbrow.
So, yeah, it's not just beer.
I
it's
should have guessed
art.
it as a highbrow.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's just a fun thing. So I thought
That's very cool.
This is really nice.
it's
You want
very
feedback?
tasty.
Do you want feedback?
Yes.
It's great.
Thank you.
You want feedback? I like it too.
We designed it to be
Enjoy.
very, very enjoyable.
I get 1 point, right?
You
For
do.
guessing
For
the,
guessing IPA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Who, me?
I
Eli
sometimes
moves
get a
up,
point.
and you get 2 points, right?
Me?
Yeah. Didn't you nail it as IPA?
He picked a special.
He got.
I
yeah,
just said
he gets 2 points.
IPA.
Yeah, you get 2 points.
If
One,
I'd have gotten it right, I
two.
would have gotten 3 points.
Yeah.
Like if it had been like that.
Because
Yeah.
you were getting more specific.
But
Yeah.
I still get 1 point for getting the category right, but I guess the
Right
wrong
on,
Yes.
right on.
specific
Yes.
kind of beer.
All right.
There seems to be some feedback that you've got rosy cheeks, James.
You know it.
I'm glad they didn't talk about me. Like, part of the reason I grew a beard is because I have rosacea. So I always look like I have rosy cheeks, and the red beard sort of takes away from that. So.
Well, yeah, I'm like Italian. My last name's Italian, but the other half of it is Irish. So I definitely got those rosy cheeks going.
Hey, man, it's a good thing.
yeah.
I got them rosy cheeks.
Oh,
People
Lord.
think I'm happy.
But
I'm doing
I'm always.
I hide behind a smile and rosy cheeks.
Why can't improv be a job? Let's
Move on.
let's move on to Scott.
Dude. All right, so I do have to pop up because.
Yeah.
Actually,
Did you leave your
If you
beer
want
all the
me
way
to-
over there?
Can you like hand?
Yeah.
Do kind of like a around the back.
And then grab the GoPro too.
I got it.
I'll
Okay.
do this.
So I've got the GoPro.
Do you need the
you need the
bottle
opener?
I
opener?
will for sure. Yeah.
Are you gonna put it on your head?
Yeah. It's.
In the meantime, everyone tell me, what's your favorite thing I've ever done?
It's upside down. It's upside down.
Oh, snaps. Okay.
What's the favorite thing that
How's it
Eli's ever done? Gosh, I mean, it would have to be
Man.
as Rip Stipley.
looking? Pat, how's the
that's-
visual?
Good.
That's
Perfect.
how
Okay, right on.
I think I'm proudest of you
Really?
as a.
Bring it up a little
I do.
closer.
Oh, cool. I only just started listening to it.
Ah,
I
got it?
chunked
Yep,
through
got it.
all of the
Right on,
old
right on.
episodes.
All right, switching
Yeah,
back to
that's
wide.
garbage. I'm not
I'm
there.
gonna ditch.
now-
I'm still living in California at that time.
No, I mean I'm caught up, but I did like spend a week chunking through
Oh, cool, man.
like everything, and now I'm caught up and up to date.
Very cool.
So
You guys all finished your beers, right?
Yes.
So I can pour in there?
yes,
For you.
Ooh, this is our first, or actually, no, second darker beer. We had like a cavalcade of light beers in the
Yes.
beginning, and so now we're getting darker.
Which is good, because this is the kinds of beers that I kind of generally like a little bit more.
So you might be able to. You think you've got a distinct advantage in this round?
You like it better than Banquet?
I don't know, man. And it was one of those ones that was narrated by Sam Elliott, too, that commercial.
Yeah.
You're telling me. Yeah.
You're telling me that a woman has value?
Well, it was like, he was saying...
No, not us, not Coors, not here.
It was just very much like, I don't want to get into it, but he was like narrating over like this sequence of events of like, a woman got caught in the rain, and then like a man saved her and like gave her a beer, and then she like made out with him or something like that. You know,
Like real
my
life.
fantasy.
Where I'm from, women reward you with sex.
Yeah.
Coors beer. Coors beer. We don't believe in universal health care.
We've been doing it the same way since 1901.
And there's your hard-hitting comedy from the all-male panel.
The all male, all glasses, all beard panel.
All right,
I'm squirming in my seat.
let's start talking about this beer.
yeah.
Those sounds of people drinking, pretty great.
Okay.
I automatically have a thought in my head.
I thought I knew what it was. From
Okay,
the color.
they have it labeled as something different, but it technically is, I think, that.
This one. Ooh.
I'm kind of wishing that I had brought like some more general brands. Like I wish I had packed a Guinness to throw at people.
Right.
I wish I had brought like
Something
a
to
Dr.
throw-
Pepper or something like that.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm getting so many flavors from this.
I'm getting at least 22, 23 flavors.
Have you guys ever had the jerky that's made with the authentic Dr. Pepper in Texas?
No.
Ooh,
No.
no.
They marinate. They use the syrup and they marinate it.
That's the power of the stream right there.
That is
They
amazing.
found the exact dialogue. Tom
Oh man,
Oh, boy.
great! Everyone, enjoy watching that, I guess.
Yeah.
But watch it after the stream.
I have toured the Dr. Pepper Museum.
Yeah.
in not Plano. I think it's in Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There-
Well, I
there's
think
like a special kind of Dr. Pepper that's like only brewed.
it's
there,
only
right?
it's only made there.
Because it was like, it wasn't the original Dr. Pepper thing, but like it was back when like, oh, everyone can make a Dr. Pepper.
Right,
Something like
right.
that. I am 100% wrong about this, and the internet will victify me for this. All right.
Victify.
I don't think that's a real word.
You know, I like it because it's like vilify, but it shows
makes
that
me
they're
a
wrong.
bit of a
Yeah,
It filters you into a victim.
Yeah.
I like that.
Even if you're wrong.
Man.
All right, I'm gonna make a choice, and I'm gonna say sweet stout. But in doing so, I'm going to ask, what the hell is
Tropical stout.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of a tropical stout.
There-
What is a tropical stout?
There are a couple categories on here. Also, I cannot find nut brown on here.
That's like one of my favorites.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like it's not there.
I mean, nut brown, I guess, sort of is like British
Yeah,
because it's like
I see it.
I was going to say like the Marzan or the Yeah,
Beer.
one of those. Yeah, kind of.
Oh, the Rauchbier?
I was not going to venture.
I'm going
pronunciation,
brown ale.
Ooh, brown ale.
This is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I really want to know. I can only assume that a tropical stout is a stout that has been like hopped really heavily with like either New Zealand or Australian hops, which are really like tropical and fruity. But I can't imagine that's good.
It's one of the cool things about this game is that they're planning on including a pretty specific list of beers and the categories that they fall into.
Interesting.
In the rule book, this is one of the reasons that I want it to be an
examples?
app. Yeah, exactly. For there to be examples. So if you don't know what a tropical stout is, you can look at their list, find it, and try it.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, I get to try the beers in front of me. Like having the game, you can start learning things about beers that
For sure.
you might have never had.
For sure.
Or learn a new classification for a beer that you love.
This isn't. My guess here is wrong, and I'm going to say that right now. This is a wrong guess.
and that's how I feel about all of them.
American porter. I think that it might be a vanilla porter.
Wow, I feel like it would be thicker.
That's probably right, and that's one reason why I'm saying I think I am wrong when I say this. If I think it's like for me, it's something in between like a brown ale and a porter, or like a dark lager and.
Now
a
that
porter.
you say that, I almost want to actually try and like call out the beer, but
And also, I saw when I was looking, I saw the tops of all of them, so I
Yeah.
think I could name the brewery because I think.
Speaking from
But I couldn't
experience,
tell which one it is.
pride goeth before the fall.
yeah. Can I change mine before we?
So you didn't see the six-pack, correct?
No, I did not.
Okay, so I'd be very curious to hear, Christian, your guess, like as specific
And once
as you
again,
want to get.
I think I can name the brewery. I could not tell you the kind of beer that it is.
I wish that there was a way to name the brewery for this game. Like, I wish that, like, maybe
That's
just
like- Well,
I
naming
think
the brewery you
Almost
could
too
go.
much. That's too much.
If you know the exact beer, though, you basically, and you know who makes it, you basically are naming the brewery.
Yeah.
I'll wait for everyone
But
to
there's-
lock in their votes, then I'll put in my overall guess of what I think it is.
All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say.
The reason I think they don't let you name the brewery is because you can go get a flight. At a-
yeah.
You could just be
That's
at
why.
the same
That's
place.
why.
and
I'm
it
learning-
wouldn't-
I'm
it wouldn't
learning just
necessarily
now,
be
that's
really
why.
fair.
We're going through the same process that they did, but much worse and stupid.
And I want to say that this is Boulevard's Vanilla Porter.
Okay.
And I want to say it's called Bully, but it may not be called Bully.
Scott.
Okay, so we're time for the reveal.
I think it's time for the reveal.
This was so fun to listen to, of like sort of people venturing through. So this was Breckenridge Brewery's Vanilla Porter.
I was right!
You were right.
Yeah.
Like Vanilla
Wow.
Porter, Vanilla Porter got said twice, and you broached the subject.
So I said I put it on American
And I said
porter.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
But
I think
I
this-
know in my head
Yeah,
I
I
was
think-
thinking
I think
Breckenridge.
American-
Really? That
Yes,
was what you were
it
thinking
was
of?
absolutely what I was thinking.
1,
but,
2, and 3 for Eli.
And I would say this is the category. American Porter is the category it would fall into. Is
Yes,
that
it's a,
correct?
it's a vanilla porter for
It's vanilla
sure.
porter. I have to also was just going to share. So I lived in Colorado for a few years. I actually do not like this beer. And I was putting together this six-pack. I was trying to just get this really wide menagerie of beers of just with very different tastes. I was just like, oh, you know, because for me the vanilla just bowls it over. I love porters, but for me the vanilla flavor kind of
Sure, it
ruins
can be a little
So I was
much.
just trying to get something like big, since it's going
Right.
to grab you. So I love that people kind of listening to you guys find your way through it was really fun.
Yeah. Nice. I wish I had as much fun listening to you guys describe a chord.
Yeah. I wish I had points.
All right, I'm going to go grab another one of my beers. Maybe I'll grab a beer that is brewed in Christian's distillery.
Unfair advantage.
I am
Although
nope. I don't
was-
stand a chance.
And Doily Spider, I suggest the Breckenridge Vanilla Porter. It was pretty enjoyable. But
Yeah.
you're right about the vanilla
Yeah, I said.
is...
So what does that have a name?
it is called literally Breckenridge
Ridge
Brewery's
Vanilla Porter. All right, because I know Breckenridge has a beer called Bully.
Oh! And I
Yeah.
recognize the bottle.
Honestly, it's. I think it's like
Maybe
one of
it's
their
not
flagship
Breckenridge. Maybe I'm
beers.
thinking of Boulevard still. I don't know.
It's one of their flagship.
Yeah.
beers,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you see it all.
No,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, they sell it at the CIC Comedy Theater.
It's just I know.
Wait,
like,
what's that?
It's a wonderful improv comedy theater.
Eli, do you mean you perform there?
Fuck no, dude.
He's got standards.
Oh boy.
He's not a law dog.
They're not there anymore.
He's not there anymore?
No. Their last show was last week, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I know their last show was there, but I didn't know if they were keeping the group together.
Oh. Well, one of them moved to Boulder.
Yeah.
Speaking of Colorado,
Yeah.
Colorado.
Also, this game. Yes, Law Dog is done.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, they're all gone.
They all died.
JPC,
Hey,
there's
and
a fire at
JPC
Bennigan's. I
Doesn't
don't
exist anymore.
JPC is dead, but
To me.
we've bound his soul, so he still has to do campaign.
know. Law Dog is not done. I feel like
JPC is now a lich.
He is definitely spooky ghost. M. Steller's right.
I lived with JPC for a long time, and I just moved out.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
Do you have that on a T-shirt?
Yeah.
I survived living with JPC.
And or resume.
Yeah. Lived with JPC for 2.5 years, and all I got was a stupid t-shirt. And my office.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
you cut that mustache from him too, right? Or gave that mustache to him? Yeah,
It's
probably.
contagious.
All right. So,
This is fascinating.
Oh, wow.
ooh,
That's my first word.
Oh boy.
wow! I'm gonna say that
you agree?
this does not expect the taste the way I expected
It's
it to.
so much sweeter than I thought it was going to be from the smell.
And I'm supposed to know what this is?
No,
Is
no,
that a question to yourself?
No, this is not one of yours. This is actually just the one that was on the top shelf that I grabbed. I think this one's going to be pretty difficult for you guys.
I feel like this one has maybe aged out of its regular flavor.
Oh, wait.
It's weird. I feel like depending on it, this maybe was on a shelf for longer than it might normally be, and it's changed in the vessel that it was in. Was it a can?
It was a can.
Okay.
I am going to say, I think that the residual beers from before, particularly the vanilla porter, is sort of
man.
through.
Sure.
I have to say.
Because this is very sweet, and I'm like...
Yeah.
But I think I still have a guess, but I don't know if I see it on here.
It's going to be interesting if you guys are right about this.
It is hoppy. Are you guys getting hops?
I was getting hops, but... Oh, wait.
I mean, what I'm getting is it's a beer. I can get really technical here, but it's a beer that definitely had like a caramely sweet malt to
Yeah.
it. And I think the hop characteristic has aged out, and what you're getting mostly now is the sweet flavor that normally is balanced by the hops, but the hops aren't there as much.
This dude's good.
So I was gonna say like...
Well, that's the thing is I can't actually make an accurate guess based off of that. I can talk about this.
I will tell you guys, I picked this up at Bitter Pops, which is my local
I mean, they're great. I love Bitter Pops.
liquor store. Really wonderful. Because I wanted a mixed six-pack, I went downstairs to their
to their lower
cellar.
level.
And I have to imagine that those beers get picked up less frequently
These
just because
people
they're
don't go
harder to
down
get
there,
to.
and a lot of people don't know that
They don't know that it's there.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
I
think
mean,
that could be very right.
This to me... Oh, so maybe Old Ale is the right thing? Lol. There's a beer that I had once... I don't know if it's a normal kind of beer, but it's... anyway, I would describe this as a coppery beer, but maybe that's just the the old hops
like
flavor
that.
coming through.
I'm going to play this safe, and I'm still going to... Well, actually, it's not that safe. I'm going to say American IPA. I'm going to stay in that category, because I still think it's an IPA. But I think it's just... I think it's an IPA that has like some kind of a flavor or some kind of like some like finishing to it that is, dressed it up a little bit, but I still think it's in that category.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go amber ale. And
Ooh.
Yum.
yeah, I'm gonna go amber ale. I'm gonna have it hover over Scottish ales, but
That's a really good guess. Now
Yeah.
that you say Scottish ales, because I went through a phase where I was drinking a lot of those.
Yeah.
And then, I'm having some memories that are popping back from that.
I'm not choosing Scottish ale.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
you're
gonna have it
it's in that same vicinity.
You don't get the points for it, but
Right.
you get extra cool
Yeah,
Eli
right.
points.
maybe a half point. Anyway,
Yeah,
Pat loves it.
That's funny.
I think I'm just gonna hedge on India Pale Ale.
Okay. All right, guys. I will reveal it. This is
it's a
Mercenary double IPA by Odell. So
Maybe it is the leftover
I mean, that definitely makes...
porter. Should we wash it out?
I don't know, because...
No, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because you would use more caramel malt in a double IPA.
Yeah.
And like, because double IPAs are just bigger versions and IPAs tend to have some caramel sweet malt to it. But for me, it's like, that's all I taste. I don't like to use caramel malt myself in a lot of beers because it's so overpowering for me.
Love this.
But hey, I got a point. That's what's important.
1 point there.
I got a single
and
goddamn
2
point.
big points.
And I have to point out, because it's... but Odell, another Colorado brewery, we've been hitting Colorado beer pretty hard tonight.
I love Colorado beer.
They have good beer.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. Let's investigate my past. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Are you from Littleton? Where are you from?
I'm from Littleton,
That's right,
Colorado.
that's right.
Yeah, or at least I did the majority of my growing up in Littleton,
You
Colorado.
did a great job.
All right, where's the anchor state? Anyway.
Bring it to the West Coast.
Yeah. Let's talk about me for a minute.
Because like when I tasted it, the first thing I was like, I wouldn't think IPA when I first tasted it, but when Christian mentioned like maybe some of the hops drifted off there, I was like, oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's...
I thought I was gonna really get you guys.
Does
with
the
this one.
double do that? Because they...
Well, it's one of those things where the caramel malt is going to be stronger initially, but with a lot of hops, it'll balance. But you would tend to have... That was very caramely sweet, and so you would have more bitter to counteract that. But if the can is just a little bit of like IPA, people talk about IPA needs to be really, really fresh.
Yeah.
Which is why that Orb Weeper was so good. Because it was
so
super fresh.
It was very good.
But I mean, that's
You
like...
think it would last a trip to India from here, though?
Probably. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, this is what a beer would taste like if it went to India. Like, that, and so that's why I don't think it's actually a thing, because I don't think people would necessarily want to
let's
drink
be
not
clear,
desirable,
I'm holding
yeah.
it
like a
the
very...
beer itself.
No, I'm sure the beer, like, super, super fresh is very tasty, but I feel like it lost some of its characteristic just by, and, like, it just depends on how long it took it to get from there to here.
Yeah.
That alone could affect it.
Well, this actually came from Colorado on a tall ship.
Via India.
Carrying spices and other silken goods.
the asphalt yacht.
Highway 66.
Oh, boy.
All right, but it wraps around back to Eli.
Right. You want to hand me the six-pack? I came empty-handed, so I'm using...
And I can also grab some of my beers, fill out that 6-pack if you
see.
want it to be a little bit more.
'Cause I only brought the 2. I just brought a lot of it because I misunderstood the rules.
And
Can we get that GoPro on your head
Where that
again?
GoPro at?
The GoPro is right here.
dude, get extreme.
Get extreme.
And I will also say, for the sake of
Eli is going to be opening these on a mountain bike.
turned out,
Going downhill.
04. All right, here we go.
for objectivity, I bought a 6-pack variety pack, and I've had enough drinks.
It's like hardcore Henry up in
I
here.
don't remember.
what you
I don't remember what I bought.
Have you also had most of what you brought before?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were all stuff I had some frame of reference for.
Sure.
All right, pass me your glasses.
Wait, Eli, what did you pick? Can you put it in front of the thing again?
Yeah. What did you pick, Eli?
No.
Why did you confirm
Move it
that
just a little bit closer.
auditorily?
Perfect. Thank you.
I just visited this brewery maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So
Ooh.
that's why I'm choosing it. All right, here we go. With my wonderful girlfriend.
Ooh. Shout
know
out.
people.
Shout out to Eli's girlfriend.
What?
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to put the GoPro down now.
All right.
All right, here we go.
But not gonna stop doing stunts.
No.
No.
Constant excitement.
All right, here we go.
I'm on pins and needles here.
This is mine.
All right, cool.
This is Scott's, and that's Jack's.
Oh, shit.
Thanks, man.
Put it down.
I think I'm doing about as well as I thought I'd be doing this game.
I think Zemsi.
Oh
just
yeah,
arrived,
Zemsi.
so-
Okay, so Zemsi, to introduce you to everybody, let's just go down the line. Scott.
I'm Scott Pivinga. I'm a Chicago improviser and adult skateboarder.
I'm Christian Bird. I apparently am a professional brewer.
I'm Eli Mandel. Doily Spider, jealous. What was I talking about? I'm Eli Mandel. I play Rip Stipley on the improvised Star Trek podcast. And I also perform at the IO Theater. Not with Scott, but sometimes we'll do shows together.
Occasionally we'll end up in a dream or a freeze together.
Oh, yeah. And boy, watch out when we get on stage.
Yeah, watch out when they get a freeze. It's wild.
The physicality alone, people.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we get it? All right, cool. And cool. All right, here we are.
This is another dark one.
Oh boy.
That's not how I thought that was going to taste.
Okay.
It's definitely not a pale ale.
We're just gonna go.
Hey,
through.
dude, I
Are we
think
gonna
you're
go
wrong.
through everything?
It's a Pilsner.
Yeah, like that's what I don't. We don't have enough beer for me to just constantly guess. It can't be like roulette where I'm just gonna keep playing black until it hits because there's not enough beer on the table.
Man, just looking around at some of these other categories like special,
Yeah, I'm like, what is special?
herb spice beer,
Yeah,
That's why
vegetable smoked beer, please.
yeah.
And also, I'd love to try them. I'd love
Yeah.
a tasting.
I would love
every
to.
Well,
single
I mean,
you
category.
could just dump a bunch of salt in this, and that would give us a spice beer.
No, that would actually make it like a goza.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I am going to go ahead and say stout.
We got a compliment on the facial hair. We were saying it was kind of cliche, but we got a compliment.
Thank you.
Oh, there we
I
go.
appreciate it.
I wish we had just redone the order so that we could have progressed. And
I mean, most of my immediate group of friends all have beards except for one guy, and we one time went to a trivia night at a brew pub, and we needed a team name, so we just went as 3 beards and a baby.
3 beers and a baby.
And we didn't plan on doing it, but we took second place because we're apparently kind of good at trivia.
That's good.
Which I wish this was a trivia game
Something
right
like
now.
with improvised Star Trek when we do live shows. I think there are times when all the men on improvised Star Trek
Have some
have
sort of
beards.
facial hair, yeah.
And so it's just like, Jesus, in the future, is it required for Star Trek officers to have a...
Well, I mean, that goes with the whole Star Trek, having a beard makes you awesome
Yeah,
sort
oh,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So,
Have you guys played the Star Trek RPG yet?
no.
The crew of
Oh,
improvised.
what?
Yeah, the Star Trek RPG. It's been in beta. I've played it several times. The official version's coming out soon.
Yes.
Because there was one from like the 80s.
No, there's a new one.
There's a new one. There are actually 2 old ones.
It's yeah.
Because there's the original series, and then there's...
I really want to play the
next
Star Trek
generation.
VR game that's out.
Yeah, me
one of the
same.
guys, Nick Wagner from Improvised Star Trek has it, and
Yeah.
I was gonna go to
I really
play
wanna
it on
try
Saturday,
it.
but I was too hungover and tired to do it.
Yeah, hungover and VR, I'm sure
Yeah.
is not a good mix.
Because I did, the only time I played it was like when I was maybe the most hungover, and I'm making myself to seem like an alcoholic, and that's accurate.
You're also on a podcast.
Yeah.
Just here to
Yeah,
drink.
Zemps, go for it if you want to offer up a podcast for us. I think a great podcast for beer review nerds is One Shot. Just lay it out.
Or Pat Trek.
Yeah, right. Yeah, still. That's not how this game is played. Although in the points category, I'm not doing too well in points right now. That's very true. What's everybody else think? Because I know that some of the other votes on the board are not. We're not on IPA anymore. That's me.
That's
And I said stout.
He's
I've
voted.
already
He's already
planted
voted.
my
My
flagpole.
apologies. And I actually am gonna go. Is there a break in here? Okay, this is the stout category.
That's stout category.
I'm gonna say oatmeal stout.
That see, I
guess-
was
something hearty
thinking
about it.
if I was gonna do that, but yeah, we'll see.
Isn't it great to know?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I am very torn.
What are you working with? What are you torn between? All the other votes have been cast.
I know, but it's got a certain flavor to it. Like this is why I say that my palate is awful, because I taste like 3 different things when it comes to most beers. I will either describe it as raisiny, caramely, or slightly olive-like.
So you're between
just want.
olive and caramel on this one?
I am, but it's pushing way more towards olive.
Like black olive?
Yeah. And I get that a lot in a lot of beers, and it's just...
That must be why I like beer, because I love black olives.
Yeah, and like some people can get really specific to be like really describe like to acute detail and break down that flavor beyond that.
Well, see, I want them to play this game because I don't fucking believe them.
Well, I mean,
want to put it to the test.
what's so funny is when you ever hear anyone describe a beer and they describe more than 3 or 4 flavors in a drink, they're lying because the human tongue cannot individually perceive more than like 3 or 4 flavors.
Yeah,
so
there we
if you have
go.
someone who's like,
And
oh,
technically, the human tongue can't perceive any flavors.
Yeah.
It can only perceive taste.
right. It's actually all just signals that get sent to your brain, and then your brain interprets them as flavors. So you're tasting nothing. But I am going to go with Baltic Porter, which is interesting because it's technically.
Dude, you're the cute one with the mustache.
Oh shit, dude!
Boy.
Take him.
Yes!
Boy.
Was what the cute dude with the mustache? What did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Commit crimes?
Yeah.
Peace, Joe H.
Bye, George. Okay, cool. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's say... I don't have one for this one. I'll make it. Let's say you're on the farmhouse.
Okay.
The kids are waking up. You're ready to go worship Christ at your church.
Well, yeah.
You need something to get you through the day. Kids are sitting there eating their breakfast, and you're like, oh, well, Daddy wants some breakfast as well.
Yeah.
So,
Daddy.
of course, you're going to reach for a New Holland, the Poet, Oatmeal Stout.
Yeah!
I must also point out that Scott bought this 6-pack.
2 and 3.
But I did find my way there,
Yes.
not remembering what I bought.
Cool. And I'm not...
Because I grabbed dark
Criticizing
stuff. You know what you said, man.
I do.
One.
You came at me hard.
Hey, man,
Two.
haters
I'm
gonna
fighting
hate,
back.
and I'm a hater. But no, if you guys ever get a chance to go to Holland, Michigan, New Holland Brewery is pretty neat.
Yeah, they are
good.
pretty great.
They are
Take
very
my
good.
advice, don't go on a Sunday in the middle of February.
Ooh, why
because
not?
nothing's open and it's cold as hell.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
And I will add, it's because they're all Dutch and conservative.
Yeah. But the town, and there's like a little Dutch part of the town, which is why I went there,
Yeah.
and it was all closed down. But during the summer, it's supposed to be beautiful. There's like a bunch of fucking tulips and shit.
You shared your heritage, as you were talking about your rosy
Yep.
cheeks. I'm 100% Dutch.
100%.
Yeah, I'm from West Michigan, and that's called like the Dutch Triangle,
wow.
which is like
Yeah.
Holland to Muskegon to Grand Rapids, and so I grew
Yeah.
up in that area. So when I make
We
fun
drove
of it,
over to Grand Rapids
Yeah.
that same day.
I mean, Grand Rapids is a lot of fun.
yeah,
There's a lot of great
Dude,
breweries there.
and yeah, in terms of, I haven't lived there for 15 years, but in the last like 10 years, the beer culture there has exploded.
Yeah.
tons,
neat.
tons of good beer.
We sat at the what's the big one in Grand Rapids?
Founders.
We sat at the Founders Bar and watched the Oscars
Nice.
with subtitles.
That's awesome.
While drinking, and a terrible band played, and then a pretty good band played, and then another bad one played.
So what's the beer?
What?
We
What's
already-
up next?
I guess
It's Christian.
I will
Way
go
to keep
next.
this thing in the rails.
Yeah.
All right.
This one
Christian
time I
brought
sat
his
at a
beer
bar.
thermos.
Yeah, this is my super fancy
Let me
beer
tell you
thermos.
about all of my girlfriend's
Everybody
birthdays.
stand back for a second. There we go.
Ooh.
It's a party!
I should have got an overhead shot of that. That was amazing.
Man, I wish I had brought my fancy growler for this one.
Have you gotten that to like work well?
It does work well. I do need to get parts replaced, and I've been sort of dragging
man.
my heels on it.
Parts replaced on the growler.
So my growler
It's really fancy.
has a CO2 injector in like the cap.
Oh my
So you can open the growler, or you can like put a beer in the growler, and it will be good for a month instead of 2 days.
Yeah, it like
So-
instead of exposing it to air, it actually has a little spout on it. So you inject it with CO2 and it will pour off the growler without exposing it to air.
I'm actually
Christian, the scent on this one is
I'm
very.
gonna go ahead and jump to Scottish Ale right now.
Oh, wow.
Because
Yeah.
that's just bowling me over. I'm having like some real memory of just drinking a lot of Scottish Ale. So I'm just gonna
Sure.
go ahead and put it on that.
I not to glom on, but in order to
Wow.
It's coming through, man. I
Oh,
hear ya.
oh no, I don't know the name of the beer. I was like about to say like, hey, the Burnt City Scottish Ale, but no, I don't know the name of it. So I'm also just going to do that to keep up with the points because I think that you are 100% right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's really good.
Yeah, I was
Wild
actually
card it,
just gonna
James.
say- What's up? What's
Yeah.
up?
Wild card it.
Yeah, that
Pick something
strategy
else.
will work real well for me. So this is definitely a Burnt City that I don't know. and have not tried before.
Also,
It's delicious.
It's
this beer
very
is
good.
starting to hit me because I. Anyway,
It's going
I poured
to
myself like half of that last one.
It's going to go. It's going to go downhill after this one.
Really glad that you could catch the stream too. I'm gonna stay in the broad category. I'm gonna hope that you guys are like one or two like spaces off,
Yeah, and
then
you'll
I
just catch residual
just
runoff.
get the residual points because I know nothing about this, and like there are so few beers that I know that are like have this little effervescence. It's like the CO2 in this is not
very
very
syrupy.
yeah.
I'm going to say this
That's the word that I
this
should
is
be using.
unofficial, but I'm going to say a cherry Scottish.
Oh,
Scotch.
wow.
I do get
Scotch
cherries.
ale.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. You guys ready?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys are close,
Okay.
but I like I don't.
Bro, it's a Welsh
is this
ale.
worth like what 2?
It's going to be worth 1 to them if they're
If they
in
get
the
it exactly right,
amber category. Oh no, if they get exactly right, that's 3.
that's 3. I feel like you guys should get 2 because it's not a Scottish ale. It's a Scotch ale, which is technically a wee heavy.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
It's basically a higher alcohol, bigger version
of a Scottish ale.
of a Scottish ale. So this is our Dunkin' Mac Cocoa Nuts, which
That's the cherry.
well, it actually doesn't have cherry. It
I mean,
has
but like the coconut.
yeah, the coconut. So it's got
Now that you say coconut, that's all I can taste.
yeah, it's got honey, Himalayan pink salt, and 10 pounds of toasted coconut in it.
That's insane.
Yeah, but
I
it's
saw-
very tasty. It's also like 9%.
Yeah.
And now that you say that,
We made a version of this. We made a version of this last year.
So no
It was
points.
a Scottish ale, and then we made it a Scotch ale instead.
No points go to anyone for this
I
round.
still feel like they should get like 1 or 2 because the difference between a like the thing is like they have Scottish ale here and we have it here. They're actually
they're like
beyond alcohol. They're very very similar. I feel like they deserve a couple
give
of
us 2
points.
points.
all right, stream,
Yes.
you decide.
Yes, should they get?
Should
some
they
points
get
for
a
that?
point?
And also, Demon Nicodemus. I was going to say it's hella yummy. It's
Yeah,
really,
this is
really
very
good.
very
like,
delicious.
yummy is like maybe the one thing that I would describe this as.
Yeah.
Like
so
Can I have more?
I have a quick question for you. You said pink salt?
Yeah,
What's
it's
pink salt?
It's from the
you don't know
Himalayas.
Himalayan pink salt?
No, no.
Yeah.
You got to go down to your Trader Joe's, get yourself
Oh,
some Himalayan pink salt.
What is it?
It's salt. It's I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's literally just salt.
Yes.
there we
But
go.
Yes.
but you do get to say
All
Himalayan
right, I
pink
think
salt.
that deserves.
So yeah,
a
the
dab.
stream allows them 1 point each.
Okay, you got it.
But you dabbed.
And legally,
you dabbed.
no, if you want it,
no.
you have to dab for it. So
I
Scott,
just did, and I'm not going to break the
If I
rules
want-
because
if
2
I want
dabs
the point-
means that.
if you want the point, you got to dab for it. Yeah, there we go. All right.
I would lose the point. I would not have dabbed.
That was a Shazam. That
That was a double dab.
So wait, so pink salt is just salt?
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's a lot
But
of
it is
there's
pink.
but there's also like volcanic black salt and like there's many different types of salt.
Well, volcanic black salt actually has its own flavor. I really don't think Himalayan pink salt tastes that much different.
it probably doesn't.
But black salt, that'll fuck you up.
You
That
guys
shit's
ever
got a
have-
sulfury flavor
Yeah.
to it. It's
Yeah.
real
Is
good.
this real?
This is very
yeah.
real, yeah.
No.
Really?
Have you ever been up to Savory Spice Shop in Lincoln Square?
Oh, you got to do it, dude.
We get a lot of our spices for the brew pub there, and they're just really good.
You got some
The owner
spices.
Dave is a really nice guy, and I'm giving him a free plug.
Well, if Jackie says that it has a bit of a difference, I'm going to believe her
Tastes like
or
strawberries.
them, as I should say. But let's move on to the next round.
I gotta finish this.
I asked for more.
Yeah,
in
chug that 8%.
9% there.
It's so good.
It's like if you
I almost
want, it's
brought
candy.
the barrel aged version of this, but I decided against it.
That because how much is that?
Like 9.2.
Nice.
It doesn't pick up too much extra
Holy
alcohol.
smokes.
Yeah. It tastes like strawberry and horses.
You want the?
Nicodemus, I don't think you're drinking along with us. I think you've got your own drink. That sounds interesting.
Oh man.
It sounds like it's got a bit of a thunk to it. That's more of a cider thing. Scott, I believe it's you.
Yeah.
I just tossed the 6-pack right there. If
for
you
the-
want,
You got the
go.
Pass
GoPro?
the pack.
GoPro.
Let's get that
The
GoPro.
GoPro.
Where is
And then
that,
I'm
Joe
gonna
Pro?
need the GoPro. Am I upside down or am I right side up?
You're upside down, my
All
friend.
right, let's flip that and reverse it.
Those are skateboarding terms.
He's going all goofy foot. That's snowboarding.
Yep.
Damn it.
I think
Goofy is skateboarding as well.
Hey, can you bring that a little closer? Actually, can you bring it a little closer?
Like Goofy is also skateboarding.
One of my favorite things about
All right, thank you.
Scott and
Yep.
the way that he's introduced himself tonight is as an adult skateboarder, because it sounds like adult ADD or something like that. It sounds like it's a bit of a disease.
I knew that you skateboard. Do you do it professionally?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, 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 no.
He doesn't
You're very good at
pro-am.
it.
Pro-am.
Yeah.
These days, I am a competent skateboarder. I'm not particularly impressive. I have like the base of the skill set, but like to see me do it now, like I'm not particularly great. The height of, or sort of like me and my prime was about like age 17 to like 24.
Okay.
And now I sort of like, I love it. I like love the connection to it. I love the culture, and I do it probably like twice a month. But I'm not particularly impressive.
Can you start a podcast called Scott's Road to Sponsorship and
Dude.
try and get sponsorship?
Let's get him sponsored.
Yeah.
I'd love
Let's
it.
get Scott a sponsor,
Were you
man.
ever sponsored?
I had some real small local sponsors in West Michigan. I rode for Premier Skateboarding in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is a skateboard shop. And then I rode for a very small skateboard company called Fix Skateboards, also in West Michigan. So I was.
Did you have your own deck with your own name on it?
No.
You never got that.
So-
you never
That
got
would
that
have made
far.
me professional.
If you were on the West Michigan scene,
Yeah.
Scott could make or break you. Is what I am going to project onto the situation
That's
right
fine.
now.
Quick, let's go down. Who was everyone's favorite skater in Tony Hawk's Pro Skateboarder?
That's a good question.
Bob Burnquist.
Oh, Rodney Mullen.
Ooh, that's a good real one.
Wow, guys, really interesting picks. Spider-Man. Idiots.
Damn. I
little
totally
bit of
forgot
a-
about that one.
A little bit of a tangent, but did anybody play Dave Mirra's BMX?
It was an inherently worse game.
Worse, but better.
How? In what way?
I definitely.
Every time you played a level, it always played the exact same song.
You had to physically change the song if
Yeah.
you wanted a different song.
So I know every word to What I Got by Sublime because of that game. That's why it's better.
That's a curse, dude.
Darth Maul's another good one. I think in probably like Game Informer maybe, I got like a PlayStation sample disc for Dave Mirra. So I played one level of Dave Mirra for 2 minutes a lot. And then never bought the game.
That would definitely lead you to believing it's a worse game.
It was.
It's only the one level and never let you do other shit.
Yeah. But I got to
No,
learn a lot about
you
Dave
got to go
Mirra.
to other levels and unlock other songs.
Wait, did Dave Mirra die?
The songs were
killed
tied
himself.
to the level.
He did die recently.
That's a bummer.
And I want to.
Oh,
I would
boy.
love to sort of dig into that because just a couple little like.
think it
tangents.
was-
Welcome to the Dave Mirra's death.
Right.
But he had a lot of concussions.
Yeah.
And
'Cause it was
And that leads to
Suicide.
depression. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Was it though? Should we start a Dave Mirra conspiracy show?
No. What's your first go-to for a conspiracy?
I don't know. People who were angry at him about having to listen to the same song did him in.
Hey man, that ain't him. That's Activision.
Activision did him in so they could get all the money.
But it's
all that
tragic.
sweet-
Because now it's a legacy
He
game.
had a wife and kids and was enormously
Yeah.
successful. I mean, this was essentially the Tony Hawk of BMX.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, really, an enormously successful life, professional career, and had stepped away from BMX, retired professionally, and then went off the deep end. I mean, probably because of these post.
Well, it's,
That's another thing.
it's happened to a lot of football players.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
was just about to say that. Go Niners. But like it is like a terrible, tragic thing that
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious now that these head traumas lead to depression, which can lead to suicide.
Yeah, serious
Which
issues.
really the only safe way to do BMX or skateboarding is through tabletop role playing. And I really want people to focus on that until we can finish our tabletop role playing
M.
games.
Stellar.
Yeah, M. Seller, who's your favorite 49er? Mine's Ty Streets. JK.
Nobody likes him.
No, he is the most obscure 49er I could think of off the top of my head.
I
But
mean, you really could have named anyone and they would have been really obscure to
Yeah.
me. So
no, for me, It's got to be Jerry, baby. Anyway, all right.
Should we get? Yeah, sorry.
Jerry Seinfeld,
Let's talk
the
about
best 49er.
I helped on this tangent. Sorry.
What's the deal with all these sacks?
Pat, I was looking to you to sort of like
Reel
bring
us
us
back
back
in.
to center, but you just were like lobbing us more.
my bad. We started talking to Tony Hawk and Dave Mirra. I love those games.
Yeah.
This game does need a pat for every time anyone plays it to get people back.
Hey guys, you were playing a game and not just drinking beer for no reason.
Hey, assholes, you want to give me some initial?
I do.
Yeah.
I am
No.
going to go last because I know what it is, and I kind of cheated in the way that Scott kind of cheated. But I know what. But I like to think I would have gotten it without having seen the label beforehand. But I'm going to go last.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Far out.
Zemps, no one has. And it's a really great place in the market for it, I think, for tabletop-related skateboarding, BMX things.
Stop there before.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm torn, and by torn I mean I have no fucking clue.
I am going to put us in Pale Ale because I am having like flash memories of that Kolsch. And I feel like I might be in the same vicinity, but as we learned, that could also put us in wheat beer territory. or Pilsner.
That's just
Pilsner.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
I think I will go into just American Pale.
All right.
Because if I'm going to guess and not get points, I might as well be specific.
I'm going to be very embarrassed if I'm totally wrong about this.
I really hope you are.
Me too. It is my opinion that this is a Bell's Oberon.
Silence. Should I draw attention to the fact that James stepped away, or should we act as if it hadn't happened?
Act as if it hasn't happened.
James is still here. He's just off camera.
Yeah. He's
Hey, I'm James. What's happening?
So, James.
It's like he's sitting right next to us.
What's the deal with kissing?
He brings up Seinfeld once, and then that's his persona for the rest of the podcast.
Who are these people?
Right. Okay.
Name is Jerry.
Okay, everyone has
man.
placed their piece, and also everyone has spoken their piece. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Now I'm totally regretting me doing this, but yeah.
Because you were super confident.
Ugh,
You must feel really, really good about yourself, don't you, Eli?
maybe.
Because you're correct. It was Bell's Oberon, which is an American wheat.
I mean, it is a wheat, so
Yeah.
I once again
But
completely,
I will say though,
completely screwed the pooch.
Oberon is kind of like it does have a more bitter, for me it has a more bitter taste than most wheat ales.
Yes.
Like it's not quite as sweet as a lot of wheat ales.
Yes.
Anyway, so I don't know if I should get points for that because I had seen the label and
Really fucked the dog on that one.
Whoa!
2, 3, 4, 5. Screwed the pooch,
Hey,
people. Screwed the
I
pooch.
Well, the
took a
thing is,
dump
I
in
said
my
screwed the
bed
pooch.
sheets.
You took it to a dirty
Yeah,
place.
I took it to a
Pat,
dirty
could you
place.
shame him on that? Like, do you have
So
some
I have,
more reason?
I've fixed the
don't wanna
6-pack.
look. I don't wanna look.
So now there's a bunch of like random things in there
Oh,
that
you
you
messed
don't
with the
know.
6-pack.
that's a very good
That
idea.
you don't
Awesome.
know.
I feel like
It's called production.
I feel like I should not have as many points as I have because I kind of cheated. But oh well,
Dude, just rock.
you can't take it back now.
I'm actually surprised I have as many points as I do with my one.
Hey, I'm sitting here at a hot 2 points on my own stream.
Are we at 2?
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
at
I was
2.
just at 1.
No, we're at 2.
Okay. I feel less good
I'm
about
gunning
myself.
for you, man.
I think that we should at least be tied right now because I don't feel good about that.
But I had that.
James,
I
are you
feel like
pouring a beer?
I am
that-
pouring.
Oh,
Can
Okay.
we get a GoPro shot of
yes,
it real
yes.
quick?
Yeah.
stout that I had. I think there was like.
Oh, God.
I was lying to
It
myself.
beeped at me.
that I
It's
wasn't.
okay.
Yeah. I get that.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
so
yeah.
This one is tricky because I know this brewery, and they like to mess around a little bit. And a lot of the beers that they have don't taste like the thing that they are.
I feel like I'm going to
Is this a
try and
post-piss
defend
beer?
myself from the fact that I spend most of my time working all day in my brewery and then ending my day by just drinking my beer. That I don't drink a lot of beer apparently anymore.
This doesn't taste like a Christian bird.
It
so-
doesn't, yeah. about 90% of all the beer that I drink, I make myself.
Yeah.
So
I feel that same way about toast, man.
Because I toast hard.
oh
Man, I could go for a nice full-bodied toast right now.
man.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to do a toast podcast with you.
Yeah. Let's make a
man.
toast board game. There is a dumb fact that, like, in...
Well, I guarantee there's already a toast board.
Yeah.
There's, yeah.
Oh, Xanax, I'm so far
mouse
beyond
toast.
shame.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not an emotion I can feel. I've been on television. Let's keep drinking here. And what do we notice about this?
Low carbonation.
Taste olives.
It's very... Really?
Yeah.
Or is that just one of your 3 go-tos?
It's like I taste 3 things in beers.
But that also, I feel like, so
Now that you've said that, you fucked me over for life. That's all I'm going to be able
whether
to
or not it's
taste.
dry, right?
Sorry, yeah, it's dry, but it's got like like there's a lot of times you get like vinegar and olive flavor. I get that a lot in beers, and it's.
This is...
I'm skewing, here's what I'm thinking. It's a black ale, but it's not a stout or a porter. It's something else.
I think I have...
This might not actually specifically be on here.
It's a dark lager. What are you thinking?
I have a guess.
Wait.
I have my own thought. I am a man.
I think, therefore I am.
I don't think there's a specific thing for this, but I'm going to put mine in specialty IPA and say that it's a Cascadian dark IPA.
Wow. And that's a professional opinion.
Which is going to be super, super wrong, but I think it's a Cascadian
It's a
IPA.
Corona.
In all likelihood, it is very likely that is what it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here's my thing. I think that it is a... This calls it a Dunkles Weissbier, which in German means dark white beer.
Yep.
But I think it's a dark wheat beer, so, I mean, that's the closest thing that I can think, like a dark...
That's a good
Sure,
guess.
that is a
wheat.
good guess.
Yeah.
I'm saying dark lager, and I was tempted to go...
You might be 100%.
We'll see.
on point.
I was tempted to even do Czech dark lager, because I was led by the suggestion of it, but... you know, stuff in that category. But I'm going to stay slightly more general and say dark lager because I wanted to say black ale or black lager, but I don't think it's a porter or a stout, so I'm going to go that direction.
I might want to change.
All right.
No, I'm going to keep it.
So, we're Ellie's Brown Ale.
Brown ale.
We should have been right over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think
In the
I
southeast.
cannot fault Christian because this isn't Avery. And if you're a fan of Avery,
Another Colorado.
Yeah. I love Colorado, but Avery really likes to make things that do not taste like the thing that they are.
Yeah.
So
Really?
I cannot fault you guys for going out of category.
Yeah.
It was a tough one. It's really
That was
difficult
very
to
hard.
place.
We've each had a quarter of what? 7 beers?
I mean, at this point, we've all at least had like 10 ounces of beer.
Yeah.
Of varying alcohols.
And I can tell. And I think our home audience can as well.
And I just want to say, GPS dude, he's having troubles with the audio, but he also credits that to the network in my hood is heavily loaded at this time. So I got a ton of neighbors who are downloading at this time.
I thought he was saying, also they said bald guy sounded way quieter than the others, but little does he know there are 3 bald guys at the table. Take that,
Idiots!
take that person who said I was cute.
Fuck you!
I'm 28 years old.
Oh,
I mean, I
boy.
started losing my
Aren't we
hair at
all?
like 19.
Yeah, me too.
So-
And I took, anyway, we don't need
Yeah.
to go into this, but like I did like a thing, like a shampoo for a while that I think kept it
no.
in until I was about like 22, and then once I graduated college, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, it started that young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was about 19, and then for a while I had really big sideburns, and then a really bad widow's peak. So my face was shaped like Mickey Mouse.
Oh man!
And it took me a long time to realize that it was a bad idea.
No, yeah.
So
That tuft in the front.
I mean, it was one of those things where my hair receded back to about here, and then the point came down to about here.
Like anyone's.
that's a really forward hairline.
It was
though,
just I had a
man.
really wicked widow's peak. So
Do you think it could be the beer?
Yeah.
Does beer cause this to happen?
beer?
I didn't start drinking until after I was 21.
Here's the thing, Pat.
GPS.
That
I was not
Where
an
are you?
underage drinker.
GPS dude, where on the left coast are you?
What's your zip?
Tell us all of your personal information online, like they always tell you not to.
Hit us
do.
up with your SSN.
Yeah, you work for TomTom or what's the deal?
Dude, I love mothers' maiden names. I'm wild.
All right, I think the beer is starting to kick
Goddamn,
in.
we're all so
I'm passing this
fucking
over to Eli.
funny. Oh yeah.
Here
we go.
One of the great
yeah.
things
And the
about
GoPro, please.
one of the things about this game that's great is that even when you start getting drunk, your competitive spirit will force you to drink more.
I was gonna go
That's
to
great.
the restaurant.
That's one of the great things.
Unplug.
You got to unplug. So you
Microphone
unplug
has suddenly slipped off. I
the.
apologize.
There's a switch here.
This is a part of the
There we go.
stream where people start going to the bathroom.
here we go.
So brace your ears a little bit, listeners.
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
My,
You don't
my
need to-
microphone suddenly
yeah,
fell
you
down
got
my
it?
shirt.
So I'm no longer.
Oh, nope, sorry.
There we go.
This is a really good question. Why don't they all
right,
wear
cool.
crazy wigs?
Hear me, correct?
There used to be a time in America where everybody wore crazy wigs all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm really, I'm having a private enjoyment of watching Scott try and find our bathroom. It's actually very difficult to find.
Warmer.
It's in a little nook.
Oh man! Well, it didn't hit
Colder?
the microphone, so
Someone
we're all right.
didn't- All right. Someone didn't finish their beer.
Oh,
all
did
the
you?
way.
That was mine. Did you pour beer into my?
No, I spilled it on myself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah, where the bathroom is kind of looks like a recording corner
Yeah.
or like a booth, like an area you'd go to record, but it's actually the entryway to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use it after Scott is.
and the recording nook looks like nothing.
Because it's empty.
Well, I mean, we haven't been in a position where we've had to.
No, we
make
haven't needed
that
it.
a thing yet.
All right.
Side note: this is one of my favorite beers.
Ooh,
I like this beer a lot.
I'm very excited about this.
I'm super excited to get it wrong.
Oh, I guess I'll pour the rest of it for myself.
I started going gray at 19.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I really can't wait until my beard starts going.
You're
gray.
you don't I have gray in my beard.
I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen gray on you at
yeah,
all,
red,
Pat.
no.
Do you dye or?
Well, I didn't. I'm actually
all-
blonde.
I'll show you later.
Like,
it's all,
Yeah.
it's all
That's like
down
my
the
natural
side,
hair color.
and then my
Wow.
beard has
And
a lot
then
of gray
I
in
grew a
it. Now,
beard
everything that
and I
was
was like,
blonde when I was a child is now gray.
Which
Hey,
is a
stream.
serious.
Please tell us, chat. How are you aging?
Listen to a bunch of older white gentlemen talk about their aging
Yeah,
issues.
that's what happens when we drink too much beer.
I'm
like you're talking about getting
staring.
old.
I'm staring down the barrel of a 29th birthday coming up.
Yeah, like next week, right?
Which unignorably I'm thinking about is the start of my 30th year. So
Crazy.
20s really end there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm also going to. I'm aging well.
I'm aging well.
This is what these
You would, Zems.
You know, I'm in my young 30s, and I like it a lot. Being 30
I
is
mean,
great.
I enjoy being 30, but I feel like I did not do a lot before 30.
I feel like I would have accomplished something, huh? People
Yeah,
go to the
like
Olympics.
Yeah, but when you're in
there's
your
a lot I
30s,
didn't
you're
do.
so like comfortable with who you are. Life gets
I mean, that's-
easier
yeah,
than
that's-
the majority of your 20s.
Pat, that feeling is giving up. That feeling is giving up.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave up.
I mean, that's what it is, though.
Mm.
It's spending your 20s struggling to get somewhere, and by 30 being like, I'm cool with where I'm at.
Well, it's not that. It's I'm cool with who I am,
God, what is this beer?
and I'm me, and I'm
think
stuck
this,
with
I
it.
think this beer in this whole episode is just full of depression. It's dry hopped with depression.
This beer is very interesting.
Fake imposter is only
Currently
22.
22.
22.
Hey, you won't peak till you're 30.
Yeah. Give it 8 years.
Yeah.
Let me give you some advice, fake imposter. Don't canvas ever professionally.
Especially not for a food delivery service.
I feel like this beer has some different or interesting spice or flavor added to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in your 30s, life still has a lot to offer.
I'm going to go special.
You can go wherever you want.
Spice.
Hey Pat, I feel like you're just
Because I feel like
Am I talking to myself? I was talking to the chat.
no, I feel like this is a special herb spice beer because there's some flavor in it that's not a traditional ingredient in my mind, and I don't know what it is.
But this is Eli's favorite beer, which leads me to believe
Wait, did he
that.
say that?
Yeah, he said it.
No, he did say that. And
It makes me think it's a flagship.
knowing absolutely nothing about Eli, I'm going to make this guess.
Well, see, like I'm not sizing up Eli. I'm just like, for a beer to be your favorite beer,
Sure.
it has to be like available, right?
A larger mass product.
Like, and I know that it's not the best, but one of my favorite
American
beers
Brown.
is the Breckenridge agave wheat.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Beer review websites hate it, but I love it.
It's not my favorite beer. It's one of my.
One of
of your
Eli's
favorite
favorites.
So
Say that into a microphone.
I'm going with, within the brown ale category, I'm going with American Brown Ale.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, so, Eli, I've guessed
Sorry if this is making a lot of noise.
I've guessed special herb spice beer.
Cool. James, have a guess?
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's still thinking.
James is a discerning man, and he doesn't like to rush.
Yeah, clearly by my score.
James, that's fine, but we have the same score. So, what does that say about
muted
me?
right now because I'm about to make a lot of noise. All right, here we go.
You're gonna do coke? What are you doing?
I'm about to make a lot of fucking noise. Thank you. All right.
I'm putting it in amber.
You're putting it in amber.
Yep, and it's gonna last forever.
Dude,
Eventually, one day, scientists.
His clip is not with his microphone.
Scientists are going to drill into that amber,
The clip is still to his. Okay.
extract some DNA, make some dinos.
Dino
Oh,
DNA.
Yeah.
Dude, Zemzi is all over you.
I'm being James.
He being James.
He being James.
All right, fellers. We all good?
Yeah, we're all good. Eli, I need to know what this is.
Well, you bought it. It is a Great Lakes Elliott Ness Amber Lager.
Yeah!
Oh, man.
I've got to say this. Amber is the color of his energy.
Wait.
You're an amber ale.
Amber
You're-
Lager. Different category.
Yeah, you missed it.
Damn.
Dumb piece of
That
shit.
seems like that's a little.
right? No, that's a little deserved. It's a little deserved. I couldn't tell the difference between an ale and a lager.
Hey, and if you watch that episode of Friends, Paul Rudd clearly explains it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Great reference.
thank you.
Great ref.
Actually,
Who else?
I think it's Ross that explains it to Paul Rudd.
Who else caught that wave of Friends being on Netflix? Huh? Tumblr?
Is it not on Netflix
Tum-
anymore?
I think it still is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Tumblr Friends craze.
So you're still riding that wave.
Yeah. Nope. I did not like Friends that much. And, like,
I will tell you what,
Still
I
don't.
just never watched much of it. I haven't watched enough to actually form
Not very good.
I dislike
Oh,
it.
that's where you
not
and I
very
differ, my
good.
friend.
I never formed an
What's
opinion
right?
about it.
I will say this.
Thank you, fake imposter. Thank you, fake imposter.
I know we've
That's
already.
only 22.
You guys are in the fucking ground already.
Yeah.
You're in the ground.
I know that we've already
to be fair,
plugged my podcast a lot, but my absolute favorite episode of Improvised Star Trek. Someone suggested the title, "The One Where Ross Gets a Monkey."
Yeah.
and it is
It is very good.
my absolute favorite thing that I've ever done. I think.
So if you need to start somewhere with improvised Star Trek, and there is a lot of it,
Yes.
and you gotta start somewhere, start
Yes.
there.
And
But
also,
it has nothing to do with anything else on the show. It's just we take a break, and I also try and
Love it.
force in a Frasier thing, and a lot of Seinfeld gets forced in there as well.
just a little context for the viewers or the listeners. Friends was a comedic sitcom in the 90s. All right, moving on.
With
Well, it was a-
unrealistic square footage for New York apartments.
It was a sitcom in the 90s.
So, just sitcoms in general. Get the square footage very wrong. Very, very
was a
wrong.
launch
That's a harsh James critique right there.
I mean, but Seinfeld wasn't too wrong with its square
that
footage
was
because Jerry's apartment could have been very small.
No, Jerry's apartment was actually quite large.
Like
when you,
It was like a
when, you
medium
think, when
apartment.
you think about his living room space in terms of like where his TV was and where the false wall where the camera was
But
would be.
it's like the 80s. He probably got it in the 80s, and he's a working comic that he's
yeah, he
always
was on Letterman. He was talking about being on Letterman on
And
Seinfeld.
on Letterman, he got flown out
For
to do
sure.
the Tonight Show.
for sure.
So he's making money.
would he be still living in a New York apartment?
And also would Kramer have
Kramer being in the same building is that's the X factor.
yeah.
But you
But
can
he moved in really early. Anyway, back to the game.
Oh shit!
Here, is it my
Is
turn?
Jerry in a rent
I think
controlled
it'd be my turn. So
apartment?
I need.
But you
to
can
do
lock
that.
in your
All
rate.
right, here we go.
So it's my turn,
I'll-
and I guess
I'll
I'm
make
going
sure
to
I'm
use
not-
the GoPro.
Yes,
Bro.
you finally get to use
All right,
the
well,
The
let me,
GoPro.
let me choose before you switch to it. Let me choose something,
Okay.
and then you can GoPro
Because
it.
we don't want to watch your indecision.
No,
it's true.
no, we don't want to. We don't want to get
Because-
caught up in all that. I know, like in the first season of Seinfeld, they touch
there we
on real estate a bit because George is like trying to be
Yeah.
a real estate agent, and then they walk away.
This
from
is
that
actually
very,
a beer that
very
I really
briskly.
truly enjoy. You can switch to it there.
Ready?
Yep.
Look away. Don't
Look
look
away.
At it, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
can't,
look at it.
Can't look at
All
it.
right,
James,
perfect.
you
We
wanna
got it.
not-
All right.
Yeah,
Screen
I'm zoning in. I'm zoning in.
That was very
my
sweet, you two.
College playwriting professor would always say, "Let the audience know what you're going to do, so that they know, and it's fun to have the characters understand." So that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I guess.
So
that's
Jim
true.
Bierman at UC Santa Cruz, thank you.
I guess.
Beautiful campus, by the way, man.
Have you been there?
I drove through it. My fiance and I, we did an Airbnb in Santa Cruz 2 years ago.
Really? Where? Do you remember? It doesn't.
Unfortunately, I don't remember the specific intersection, but
Yeah.
we went to Discretion Brewery, which was there because
That must have popped up since
it
I
seemed
graduated.
very new.
Yeah.
So this would have been in.
Do you remember like what kind of was around there or anything?
It
What
was
did
like,
it look like?
we drove up the hillside, like
Oh,
along
yeah.
the ridge, and then down, and then we were at it, and then we were sort of in a mall. I would say a mini mall atmosphere.
Huh? Okay.
All right.
You know, let's talk
Maybe
about
you
Santa
should-
Cruz more.
This is interesting.
They can keep
Before-
sampling.
before we
and
get-
while they all taste and make their decision, I can tell a story about Santa Cruz.
Ooh.
Oh, sure.
Before we dive into this, I do want to say fuck you for giving me the caramel and olives thing, because that is all I'm getting.
On this
from-
beer?
I'm getting caramel from the smell.
Interesting.
Caramel from the smell. I have not
Interesting.
tasted it.
What's your Santa Cruz story? I would love to.
So my Santa Cruz story. So I have my aunt and uncle live.
No way in the
they,
flavor.
They moved to Santa Cruz a couple years ago.
Really?
And they're from California, but they retired to.
Where are they from? I'm loving this.
Yeah.
And the stream is loving
You're
it.
the only
The
one.
stream is loving it.
From the Central Valley or elsewhere?
Elsewhere, I don't know exactly.
Oh, we're losing subscribers.
But my
Huge in
uncle,
California.
when they bought their retirement home, it was a long it's not right on the coast there in
Yeah.
Santa Cruz, but it's close.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to know exactly how far the house was from the coast.
Yeah.
So he got almost like a weather balloon, and he strung it up from the house, and then went driving along the coastline looking for his balloon. So he kind of visualized how close they were, because they're not on the ocean, but he wanted to know kind of how close he was to the ocean.
That is very funny. I lived my senior year of college. I lived like 3-4 blocks from the cliffs. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't care. I didn't go in the ocean.
Stop bragging.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
No kidding.
I'm going with wheat beer on this one.
This is something. Huh. Yeah.
I'm gonna get even more specific if I can find it on the board.
Just shot call it.
Say what it is, and we'll try and help you find it.
Farmhouse Ale. Do you guys see it in here?
That would farmhouses are weird
There's
because
different kinds of farmhouse ales, aren't there?
I mean, saison and farmhouse are in my mind interchangeable.
So
Also, when you say farmhouse, and I've made this mistake at bars before.
Basically, this the pale ale, the Belgian.
If it's a farmhouse, we'll give you 3 points. I think is where we're at.
Where should I put my piece?
I would
For
say
the
you can
side
put
bet.
it in any category.
Okay.
But if it's a farmhouse, we'll give
I'm
you
going to
3.
put it in Saison, but if it's a farmhouse, we're going with James's side bet.
Sure.
And yeah, I know that like power game wise, I know that I brought a wheat beer and I know that I brought a Saison. So this could be the Saison easily.
I don't think it is the Saison.
I really do.
I'm
love
going
this
to
beer.
say, yeah.
You should go in for the Saison, dude.
I'm gonna say it's a Weiss beer.
Ooh,
A Weiss beer.
interesting.
Although
beer.
you just warned me against that and you bought it, so.
So everyone's made their decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
right.
also was just going to throw out, this is in the category of beers I absolutely love. This is like my
This
favorite.
This is
a great,
very delicious.
This is a really,
So
really
good.
great beer. I actually really like this beer myself. This is Temperance Brewing Company's Greenwood Beach, which is a blonde ale with pineapple.
Tropical?
It's a tropical set. No,
Because I'm like, there's something special.
This
in
is
it.
the right category.
Yeah,
It is
one.
a blonde. It's a Belgian blonde.
Yeah.
It just also happens to have pineapple in it.
It's so good. I really love it.
Christian-
Hey, we all win when there's good beer.
We're getting fucking slaughtered though.
I know.
We don't all win. Two people get fucking ripped apart. And here's the thing, it's not like they're taking points from us. This is on our own merit.
Oh no, it's just like I said. I told you on Twitter this morning. My palate is awful.
Dude, you laid the groundwork on this one. I made no claims about my palate, and maybe I should have.
Yo, GPS, dude, y'all ever been to Fresno?
Hit us back.
Are you picking a fight?
Yeah, dude.
Oh boy.
No, I love Fresno.
No, you strike me as a motherfucker who's been to Fresno, so why don't you answer that question?
Hey, lots of motherfuckers
Oh, man.
have been to Fresno because it's a place where a lot of bad things happen.
I'm sure good things
Fresno
happen there
is the
too.
second worst coming in from Stella.
Hey man, wait, this ain't Mike Garrity.
Yeah, dude, I
Mike
was going to bring up Mike Garrity.
Garrity is the only guy I can talk to about stuff. Me and Mike Garrity and James Dugan, we had this text thread about Star Trek Enterprise because we're all watching it right now. And there's another thing. And Stockton is, and so like I'm also like, oh wait, we're all from the Central Valley, which is like no one else is from the Central Valley. Anyway, I'd argue that Bakersfield's worse than Stockton. Although I only have been to the Stockton Amtrak station.
I have eaten at a Wendy's in Stockton in the last year.
Really? I want to know about this trip between you.
I want to get back to Star Trek Enterprise.
Susie, yeah.
So
I remember I met Susie like when I very first moved to Chicago.
Oh,
Like,
cool. So
I mean,
like
just
way
one
back.
time, and I was like, "Oh, you have the same name as my mom," and then that was the only thing. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that person." And then I met her again because she does improvise Twilight Zone, right?
Exactly.
And I sub-coached for them one time,
she
and I was.
mentioned that. She said you were great.
Oh well,
Yeah.
cool.
There's
I
some
felt
that.
bad because I'm like, I know that I have a as well. You should, M. Stellar. It's the only place that anyone can. Bakersfield is the only place that anyone from Fresno can make fun of.
Yeah. So I'm conflating two trips.
Yeah, guys, the chat and I are in agreement. Star Trek Enterprise is more important than this.
Okay, cool.
Then
So
Eli and I just
That you two connecting
I
about
haven't
places
seen-
you've been. God damn it!
I'm not all the way through Star Trek Enterprise. GPS, dude, you motherfucker.
phone ringing because it was fucking up my vibe, dude.
So let's talk about Enterprise. What do you think of it? What do you think of it so far?
So I am surprised because when it came on when I was like a kid, I was like, what is happening? And then and then like the internet says that Enterprise is bad. But I was very much surprised by how much of it I liked. Right from the very beginning. I think the first episode's pretty fun. And then there are one or two like, what is happening? Like episodes where like, well, this is terrible.
I think it suffered from, similar to certain episodes of Voyager, from the era in which it was coming out.
Yeah, but I will say I'm on season 3 right now, and it's really interesting. There's some cool stuff, and I think about it happening like right when the Iraq War is starting, and like, and Archer's like going full on Ahab after the Zindi, man.
Yep.
And it's like, and it's kind of cool to go like, okay, they're trying to talk about things that are happening, which is where, in my opinion, Star Trek is at its best, where it's Absolutely.
talking about things that are happening right now. And apart from that, there's some really good episodes, and there's like some episodes that are like, you know, having fun. I will say that Bakula is maybe not the best actor.
No way.
Where there are some
Not the best captain. I think that hurts the show.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Enterprise, the show?
And I have to just clarify a couple. Go ahead.
Enterprise was actually the first Star Trek I actively watched.
Wow.
That
You're
was
crazy.
That was it was my introduction.
Well, cool. But then you got into other stuff.
So that was my introduction, and then I didn't really watch a lot of Star Trek, and then I tried some of the original series.
Yeah.
Which that's a little different. You have to look at that with.
No, and
you have to look at it through the lens of
and I totally
history.
get it. As someone who watches a lot of old television and stuff, like I totally understood that. But to be honest, Pat, I have been watching The Next Generation.
Hell yeah!
For the first time,
Really?
listening to Patrick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm a
Oh,
big
thank you
Next
so much.
Generation guy. I
Like,
love
Me
Next
too. I mean, it's my.
Generation.
No,
I
I'm
think it's-
legitimately enjoying
For
watching
our
it through.
generation, I think Next Generation is like home base.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
correct?
Absolutely.
I've said it this way. I've said Next Generation is where my heart is.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine is where my mind
And
is.
I
Yeah.
have-
Oh,
and I-
that is a
and I
great
have-
explanation.
I
Yeah.
have caught episodes of Deep Space Nine, and I really, really want to.
Well, here's the thing with
Watch through
DS9,
it.
because I think that, just knowing you for a tiny bit, I think that you would dig Deep Space Nine. But, like, when I was a kid, Deep Space Nine was on at, like, 1 in the morning, and my sister and I would catch, like, an episode sometimes, but we were huge Next Generation fans.
Yeah.
But we'd watch it and go, like, what is happening? And then, like, in college, I got the DVDs, and I watched it from episode 1 to season 7, episode 26 or whatever, the last one.
Yeah.
Watched it from beginning to end, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Before we turn into a Star Trek stream,
my last point. My last point.
all right, you have
It's a 7-year
he's got a Star Trek
You gotta
podcast.
watch you have a Star Trek podcast?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
called
Star Trek.
Patrick.
It's called Patrick.
We're watching every episode. I'm trying to introduce Patrick Winnegar to Star Trek and trying to get him to love it as much as I do.
I've never
But it's not working.
I've never
excuse me.
asked. I've never asked it. I've heard of Patrick because you've had a couple Star Trek people on there, right?
Yeah, we have.
Can I be on the podcast?
Of course, it'd be awesome.
Cool.
I
Okay, so
would love it.
So here's my final point.
2017.
I love Next Generation, but I think the best single season of Star Trek, and I've watched
Wait,
them all,
because I have an answer for this. Anyway.
is season 6 of Deep Space Nine.
Oh, mine's season 4 of Next Generation. I think.
Oh, that's a great season. Great.
Family is my favorite episode of Star Trek.
Let's
Out
kick
of
a
it.
beer. Let's discuss the drink a beer.
Scott, nerds.
Scott, I think you're up.
Okay,
We've had too many beers. Now we're talking about Star Trek.
Dude,
What
go
did
from me.
you expect was going to happen on
One of the
an
things
episode where we just drink beer?
Liam Morris
I'm gonna
said,
start listening to Patrick.
I think by all these like side discussions, we are playing this game the way it's supposed to be played. Because you're supposed to be playing in a bar somewhere, drinking a bunch of beer,
then you start talking about Star Trek.
and then you start talking about Star Trek.
It is like I feel like that is totally right because
Yeah.
like the point of this is to have
It's a
fun.
drinking
All right, got it. You're
Yeah.
upside down again. But
I'm gonna point out. I really want to point this out because we were talking about Star Trek. Liam Morris pointed out on Twitter. My dad is watching the One Shot live stream. I don't get this. It's just 4 dorky guys sitting at a table,
Oh man,
which is very real.
we are. I feel like we're being on brand right now.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Though I do have to point out, Jack pointed out on her Twitter that she's got Alistair, her cat, who is enjoying the stream.
Oh, great.
So apparently there is some merit in 4 dorky guys sitting at a table. Thank you, Alistair,
Capturing that
the
cat market.
And also, I'm a jock. How you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a skater, bro.
He's technically a jock.
My girlfriend said she said I had a lost connection and it came back and all I heard was you shaking your hands and saying sexist.
Oh boy.
This guy GPS dude is asking for a very reasonable request for us.
Oh, sure. I can totally do that.
All right, that's
Oh man,
Scott,
I'm bad
you're
at
really
it. Here we go. Here we go. We're doing it. We did it. We did it.
Oh boy. Oh. Right. Back to the beer.
oh my god.
Okay.
You guys, I love talking about Star Trek. I'm sorry.
me too.
Back to the beer.
American IPA.
I just feel like in general, sci-fi is good reflection of human culture. In
Oh,
general.
and at its best,
That's why I like
it's a
sci-fi.
reflection of human
like
culture.
all things sci-fi. That's why I like Star Wars. That's why I like Star Trek.
Well, I'll
I
say,
feel like they're good
similar
reflections.
to how anyway, but like, but Pat's like
We are a few beers deep now, huh?
Pat's explanation of DS9 and TNG is kind of how I feel about Star Wars and Star Trek, where Star Wars tugs at my, it's like my soul and my heart,
Yeah.
and like Star Trek is like my brain and my heart, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
it's like that thing of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so cool, and I feel it, but for this reason is because humanity is so full of potential. And with Star Wars, it's like, but I'm a human creature and I've existed for 1,000 years, like this, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've picked India Pale Ale.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow. It's weird how we all gravitated to IPA. huh?
We all played the game still. I picked India Pale Ale because I really only want that one extra point to get ahead of James here.
Yeah.
I picked double IPA so that I could potentially get 3 points and get ahead of Christian.
And I picked an American Pale Ale because I figured it's definitely an IPA,
Mm-hmm.
but it was probably made in America.
I feel like if it was American, it would be stronger because the IPA culture that I feel like we have right now.
Well, double
there a culture
so this
of
is double IPA
IPAs?
can still very much be an American
Very
IPA.
true.
Yeah.
There's not really an English double IPA as a
I don't think I've
that's
ever
true.
had an English IPA, and I don't think that in my opinion or my experience, I don't know that IPAs exist outside of America, and like that I've noticed. What are like some English IPAs?
English IPAs, I don't know any specific off the top of my head, but like the big thing is that English IPAs tend to be just sort of very sort of simple and floral, not as much of the really citrusy, juicy
Okay.
IPA flavor that you get from like West Coast IPA or the new New England IPA. Like have you guys heard of Heady Topper?
I don't. If it's New England, I don't. Know
Yeah.
about it.
So the thing is, I'm going to go on a little beer rant. This is relevant to the game.
Yeah.
New England IPAs are IPAs that are very juicy and hoppy and sort of floral, but they are cloudy as hell and they don't look good, and people think that that's okay. But a good beer is not just flavor, it's also sight and smell. All of those things make a good beer. And the New England style IPA is something. I'm ranting. Fuck.
And I'm sorry that I'm texting.
You've got
but yeah.
momentum.
The New England style IPA, you can get those flavors and still have the beer look clear and crystal and like actually appealing. But there's this growing trend of having beers that look like they're cloudy as hell. And I personally do not take to that philosophy.
So when the beer is cloudy or clear, what does that say about the taste, or about the quality of the beer?
Often, like they think that the cloudiness means that, like, because not all breweries filter their beer, but they usually do some sort of clarifying process.
And what does filtering do?
Filtering gets rid of hop residue and leftover yeast residue,
Okay.
usually.
Yeah,
in some way,
You
shape,
just put
or
that
form.
through like a Brita or something.
Yeah, it's essentially like
Yeah.
there's a couple of different methods. There's like
The Brita method where they just buy
Yeah.
a Brita brand.
Yeah.
Can I work at your brewery?
It's like
'Cause
that.
I think
It's
I have
like
a lot of
that.
ideas.
Was it that episode of MythBusters where they just started running vodka,
Vodka through
Brita?
Oh, and like it fucking
It
worked.
sort of
huh?
worked. So
Yeah,
it kind
it
of worked.
kinda
Yeah.
worked.
But like
Just made it
filtering,
more pure.
filtering helps. But there's also
Theoretically.
a group of people in brewing that think that too much filtering can strip out flavor as well, because we actually don't understand a lot about how beer actually works. I'm gonna be honest. We understand the basis of like yeast and what yeast does to make beer, but we don't 100% understand the science of like why hoppy beers are tasty
A lot
or
of
not.
this
All right, Pat's in the
still
bathroom,
unknown.
so like we should. I'll be Pat. All right, hey, can we talk about the game now, please?
All right.
Okay,
How
Bob.
right or wrong are we?
A lot of people have hit on some of the characteristics of this beer.
It's gonna be a pale ale.
When you said American, it certainly is an American beer. It falls within the category of American Pale Ale. It is from Temperance Brewing Company, so it's their pale ale, but it's the rye.
Oh, that's actually
So you're gonna reveal
twist the
this,
Sorrel
or-
right. Twist the Sorrel right.
that's
No, that's
Let me see the can.
that's the gate crasher. Oh no, it's the Restless Years.
It's the Restless Years rye.
Oh, because Gatecrasher is their English IPA, and then Restless Years.
So none of us get any damn
no,
points.
we failed miserably.
No. Well, no.
Nobody's.
Yeah. Well,
No one's in
No
pale
one-
ale.
no
no one's in
over here.
pale. Yeah. All right.
You
Right.
have to crush the can, man. You don't have to get, flip out.
He's taking his
I'm
aggression
gonna
out.
practice on my head again.
I don't have
damn,
to look at the
son.
six-pack. I brought this beauty.
Oh God, he's got a mystery
Look away.
beer.
GoPro?
I judge all treasure cans by whether
He's
or
got a
not it is
mystery beer.
mechanically suitable
James?
for kissing Odo.
GoPro it?
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Hey.
GoPro it. Okay,
Oh no, I forget the name.
let's see. I hope you guys can see that at home.
Ooh, yes, we can. We got it.
So this one is tricky. I just want to point out this stretches across a couple categories.
Horse piss, dog piss.
I got this one.
Corona Light.
I think Christian is going to like it, but like as to whether or not he'll be able to identify it.
See, I don't consider myself a beer nerd. I think I'm very clearly not a beer nerd based off of my points.
Based on the points, neither am I.
Yeah.
But
And I'm. You know
are you a
You know what?
fan
I am
of beer?
I am proud of not being a beer nerd because I used to be a beer nerd, and I have a philosophy about beer. I feel like people that first discover beer, like I think for a lot of people, did anyone ever watch Psych?
No.
Is anyone ever a fan of Psych?
I'm a fan of Psych. To this day.
Talking about suits?
So
Hashtag suits. Hashtag suits.
No.
dude.
Psych was
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Psych was a very
Hashtag JPC. Hashtag suits. Hashtag spaghetti pasta.
Hashtag I just got rid of that man from my life and I don't need more of it.
Hashtag flush the toilet.
Psych was a very, very important show to me because it was entertaining. It was one of my favorite shows. But there was a single episode where it got to a point of being like I think the actual line itself is sort of not great. But it's this whole idea of like they had this whole thing of like how you should treat a woman, and I didn't really agree with it. But I liked the general philosophy of like the arc of it. But they had this whole thing of like treat a woman like a princess, then like a person. No, like a person, then like a princess, then like a goddess, then like a person again. And I took that philosophy and applied it to beer, which is really weird. But the idea is that beer is beer itself. Like everyone is first introduced to beer, and it's beer is beer, right?
You came in a very committed relationship with beer where you each are your own independent person.
Right, but it's like that's often your introduction to be like the first time your dad gives you like an old style or something like that, and it's like beer's beer. Then you get to like beer is this great cool new thing, which is when the craft beer boom really started and people got really into it. And then you get this idea that beer is like the nectar of the gods, and a lot of people get really deep into it where they'll stand in line. They'll stand in line and they'll do all this stuff. And at the end of the day, beer becomes beer again. It's a thing that you drink while you do other things, and like that's what I really like about beer. And that's just my personal approach towards it, is that I've gone through all of those stages personally where I used to stand in line and do all this stuff.
But I feel like you should just treat women like people.
No, that's the thing. Is like it was a bad philosophy. Like I don't
like you should treat
don't
beer like
actually
good people.
don't actually accept the philosophy that Psych promotes.
I feel like
use
women should be treated like landmines, but given the rights of people.
They should be treated like bouncing Betty,
This is
right?
why you shouldn't like get wasted and then do it like.
I just think people should be very cautious.
But I do not advocate what this show was pushing as a thing, but I took that and made it my own thing for beer because I feel like beer can be
Sandwich.
objectified, women cannot be.
I am at a complete loss with this beer. I have no idea what.
Or
it
maybe
is.
women should be treated like beholders in Dungeons and Dragons. And that's nobody should get within the 30-foot, or I think it's a 60-foot line that the I-beams can go in.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be seen.
Anyway, about beer, I would say if I saw it on the board, this is a Gose. This is like a sour to me.
It is more sour, but I don't think it's quite as sour as a Gose.
But your
ghost,
vote,
as I call
your
it.
vote there.
This was as close as I could get from what I saw. If you see something closer to that, I'll
Wait,
take
isn't
it.
there
Aren't
something over
sours a category?
Sour
Is there?
and
There is a sour
Oh,
category.
great. There's a Gose.
later, pimps. This one is very hard.
I feel like I could maybe name the brewery, but nothing beyond that.
You can name the
Wait.
brewery.
Really?
Too bad that's valueless.
It is.
I mean, if you manage to name if you name the brewery on this, I will give you an extra point.
Oh man. Can I get a hint of if it's situated in the city of Chicago?
No.
Chicago adjacent. Not Chicago, but Chicago
Brothers?
adjacent.
You're not telling us.
It's
I'm
probably
not-
two
I'm not-
brothers.
If
I'm not telling
it's Chicago adjacent, then I
Two
don't
brothers.
necessarily think I know it.
I think I'm pretty confident. Well, not confident. I hate
All right.
myself. No, M. Stellar, don't. I'm not a dork. Stay, M. Stellar, please.
See you, Mish.
I have to look at my other options, but it's not a Berliner Weiss.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a Flanders. Goes. See, so that's a. So you've picked Goose, which is not a Goza. That's a Goose.
What's the difference between a goose
So
and
a Goza is a beer that's. You know, we were talking about salt before with beer.
Yeah.
So
Pink salt.
No, this is different from the pink salt.
No.
There's the.
If anyone's still with us,
There's
they're
the
wasting their time.
there's a German town called Gozen, and along the river, the water there is very salty. So Gozas are a beer that has a very high salt content to it. It's very minerally and salty, and that's a Goza versus a Goose, which is a different sort of style. Oh god, my mic has fallen. I apologize.
Well, now I'll never know the difference between a goose and a goza.
I feel full of ignorance right now.
Yeah, my point is I'm stalling because I don't know what to actually pick.
I will say to everybody here that there is a lot going on with this beer.
Yeah.
I think it is a category of beer that generally I feel there is a lot going on with. But this one has had extra stuff happen to it.
It's
Magic.
people like the fermenting.
A
for me
wizard
is
cursed
wild.
it.
Yeah, it definitely could be wild.
Cursed by a wizard. And it was also kissed by a rose.
The Maiar.
I'm gonna bounce off of Christian. So, in your understanding, what would be the closest thing to what I think the sour
Room,
that I'm
wild
looking for is?
fermentation.
And I think that this is one.
I would say
brewed
out of
by
that
the
wild
Valar
fermentation, out of
in
that category,
Valinor.
wild fermentation.
Love it.
Yeah, and I am going to
On
say
the Melkor curse
sour wild beer,
Wow.
but
in the city of Valinor.
because I really can't just necessarily
Brewed by
decide
the
beyond that.
Eldar under the instruction
But
of the Valar.
I want to say that the brewery itself, I'm just going to take a stab at the brewery and say that it's Four Hands out of St. Louis.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to reveal it. I understand why you picked that brewery. This is a brewery that's actually new to me. It was brewed by Sketchbook from Evanston.
Oh,
Sketchbook.
Caesar. I know
It's
Caesar.
Heard of the damn
Sketchbook's
thing.
barrel-aged Saison.
Oh,
So-
Stayed here.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
oh, he nails it.
1, 2, and 3 for Eli.
Eli.
Here's the thing.
Runs away with it.
Saison is already, I think, like just
Yeah.
as a category, there can be a lot going on with it just because there's a lot of flavors moving about it. Barrel aged in a wine barrel. And that's
totally
where
see that.
I
Yeah,
see.
I think the sour stuff.
Yeah, that's
needs
probably
to
where
be
the wine
notes.
came in. Yeah, we're like.
I mean, it's definitely like I can totally now. I can taste like white wine.
I feel like I have to give you guys a point for that.
You don't have to.
No,
don't have
I
to.
do.
You
I'm
don't.
going to
No.
because
you
I-
want to lose? No.
No, because you
You want to be in last
Wait.
place?
you dug into.
Is the game over when we get to fucking 21?
No, that's just I think when you get to 20,
100.
I think it's
We're already so drunk at what? And I'm in the lead at.
See, that's the thing.
15.
By the time you drink enough, 20 becomes 200. So it's
Wait, when is the game over?
game's over at 200. But
the game's over when the first person falls down.
I mean the game's over when like you want it to be over, and I feel like we're at about that
Well,
point.
it seems like game's over first to 20. But also, that's a lot of beer.
If it was first to 20, people would die playing this game. They would die.
Yeah.
But like I have to give you guys a point because I mean you found those grape notes. Like
'Cause I
you
did so good.
you knew it was there.
I did
you
so
did good. You did very good.
Yeah. But I mean,
did good.
you nailed it, man.
Yeah, man, I don't know how you're
That was impressive.
very, very impressive. Learning that Eli's got some game
I'm
here.
sorry I told so many people to watch me tonight. What's up, guys?
Who did you tell them?
I really expected you to sweep. I was like,
You know, like that thing is like you have to understand that I I do not drink a lot of beer.
You know the things that go into the beer.
I know too much.
No, yeah, like
It's like that thing of like, I bet if any of us like saw like an improv show, we couldn't name what was good about the improv. Well,
I mean,
I know exactly what's good about it.
as someone who also used to do improv,
We just wouldn't laugh.
I would also,
yeah, it's like
Actually, you know, here's the funny thing. I think
improv show and not laughing.
everybody here either currently does or used to do improv.
Yeah.
I think that invalidates a lot of our opinions about a lot of things.
It's true.
Is this stream mostly like bitching about improv?
It's part of it.
It's a lot.
It was very expensive.
Yep.
Let's do one more and let's close it out.
Put a
One
bottle
more?
cap
That
in my
sounds
mouth.
Yeah, because Eli cannot compete in this round, so I feel like
So there's a chance for Scott to tie. If Scott
My
can,
name is Scott.
if Scott can name the brewery,
I can't compete this round. Okay, here we go.
so if Scott can just out now nail it, you can
now,
tie.
I'm gonna take my glasses off.
Yeah, power yourself up. Take those glasses off.
I feel like
Are we
everyone
GoProing?
has maybe seen.
Oh yeah, pass the GoPro.
GoPro?
Oh yeah, GoPro,
Dude, go live, bro.
Joko GoPro. Yeah, the GoPro sponsored by Joko.
This
Wait,
GoPro,
GoPro, all right.
this GoPro gets
Which,
very
hey,
warm.
Joko, I'm
hot, yeah.
open to
It does get
mentioning
hot.
that name more if I can get on that as a guest.
What?
It's a cruise. It's a cruise.
Oh, the
for
Joko
nerds.
cruise.
Yeah, please invite me on.
I once
Pick one!
Yeah, I saw Jonathan Colton once play at the Park West, which was a very, very good show. It was actually part of Woodstock way back when. That was a bigger thing.
Yeah? No?
Yes.
Yes?
Fire.
All
That's
right,
one-
great.
that's one you
Bottle
roll with.
opener.
Bring over the bottle opener. Here we go.
All right,
Here we got one. These are.
Oh.
Just still give it to him.
I'll put these back.
I got it.
Just give him Christian's keys.
It's just
Give me
my
your
keys
cup,
to
please,
everything.
My cup?
man.
Drive his apartment home.
yeah, exactly. I'm too drunk to drive. Take my apartment.
We've been asked this many times. Our DD tonight is Lyft,
Yep.
so don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
no one is driving. no
My
one.
DD is the brown line.
I live within walking distance.
Yeah. Just saying, don't worry.
So. Also, James,
all
I live
taken care
within
of.
walking distance. Have me on more.
Yeah, technically I live within walking distance too. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have you on more.
The end of the night is when we
have to
be on
understand
each
that the
other's
whole-
podcast.
Keep your Wednesdays open.
The whole,
huh?
I know.
All right.
Literally, the last time you contacted me was
It was the
the first time in a long time I had a Wednesday that wasn't free.
Anywho,
Yes.
Hello.
Let's see what this beer is.
Oh boy.
It's lighter. It's not super hoppy. It's not.
Oh God.
I just knocked that one.
I
off
see
the
it.
table.
Is that my green one?
That was your green one.
It's yours. Doesn't matter. But I found it.
It's
I
not
tagged
weedy,
him.
but it's not. I wouldn't say a pale ale.
I'm going pale lager.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna follow his lead, but I might get more specific.
That's fine.
I'm metagaming and I'm gonna say it's a wheat beer because I know I brought a wheat beer and it hasn't come out yet.
I feel like we've done all the wheat beers.
I brought one.
You know what? I'm gonna say.
Oh, Pat's been drinking.
Pat has been drinking.
Oh yeah,
more than
Pat has
Yeah.
been
Oh
drinking.
no.
Pat's got a bottle of.
He had a 6-pack of Oscar Blues.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was
Bills?
gonna say Old Chub, but like that's not the only one that they do.
Don't
No,
get the wrong idea.
before you got here, I was talking about Old Chub is one of my favorite beers because I think it's a perfect
Pat
example of
also
a
has
Scottish ale or
fifth of
Scotch ale.
Malort that
It's
he's
really
been
good.
fucking downing.
I'm just sitting here sipping beer, though. It's a little different.
You're on your like what, third, fourth,
Probably.
fourth at least.
And
We
we're
should
not
have had you
on a 6.
play.
You had at least a 6-pack, Pat.
No, I didn't. That's not true.
You had a 6-pack.
No, that's not true. But I've had a couple beers. I'm not going to sit here with being the
For
only
the
one not having
stream
beer.
at home that is trying to picture Pat, he does have a 6-pack.
Oh yes, I love
Abdominal.
Yeah,
I
but
work
He
out.
does have
Yes.
all 6 of his beers poured in his mouth, the next down to his gullet. All right, are our answers in?
I think so.
Explain your answers, men.
So again, mine is I know I had a wheat beer. I don't know that it's come out yet, so I'm kind of hopeful.
I think we have, but this has got distinct lager flavor.
I know this is not the New Belgium that was in there.
Trying to see.
And I'm really hoping that I'm right, because if I call this a lager and it's not, and I thought that Coors, which is a lager, was a wheat, then I'm gonna quit tomorrow morning.
Dude, Christian, don't do this to yourself.
Dude, if your employer watches this, then you're fucked.
Dude, no,
trying
please don't
to
fire
find-
Christian, because he makes very good beer.
You do make good
Regardless of what he tastes,
Yeah.
he makes very good beer.
No, I don't necessarily understand beer, but I know how to make beer.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing.
I'm trying to find this one on the board.
Does that mean we're wrong?
It's just,
that must mean we're really
we're
wrong.
definitely wrong.
No,
Bring it out.
My piece, brother.
Bring it out.
All right. Well, this is. Let me think if I can think of a thing.
Yeah, please think of
Gotta
a
have the
thing.
story.
Think of a thing. Think of a thing.
All right. Let's say here in
Think
the old
of
West,
a thing.
it's Tombstone, brother, and the fella
With a crest that rises.
yeah.
That's bruschetta.
What do you want on your
feller-
tombstone?
A feller asks you to fight, and you chicken out. You say, no, thank you. And he says, what? Do you got a yellow pills?
Oh, shit!
Blue?
That's what I've been drinking.
Yeah.
So we
It was
missed.
a Pilsner.
We missed.
all
Is it
missed.
Pils?
So, but is a Pils different than a Pilsner, or is it the same
A
thing?
Pils is a Pilsner.
Oh, shit.
So,
But I still say that it's a pale lager. I think that's a really distinct
Yeah, you and I are on the
thing.
cusp. I agree.
I feel like we
I'll
deserve
give you
a
each one
point.
point.
I feel like we get a
Thank
point.
All
you.
right, they get a point.
James touches.
So I am
James
deep.
touches
still
the
far
pieces.
behind.
I don't touch the pieces.
I'm deeply far behind at 2 points. Christian comes in a respectable 4.
What up?
Then we've got Scott at 11, and the clear winner is Eli at 15
the
points.
Coyote strikes again.
The Coyote, as he will be known from now on One Shot Streams.
You know that's my legal name, right?
Is it?
Coyote.
Funny, because I just listened to the Wolf Who Cried Boy.
Coyote Mandel.
Oh boy.
But I do want to thank everybody for tuning into our Star Trek podcast. I think we had some great analysis of Star Trek between beers. But I do want to point out that Unlabeled, the blind beer tasting game, is on Kickstarter now. Yeah. If you have a friend who is into beer, and perhaps too into beer,
Yeah.
you need to purchase this game and fucking destroy them.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have to cheat. You need to take them down a peg because they deserve it.
I would.
Oh,
I would also like, and it's not just because it's related to my job, but I would like to say that you don't need to drink to have fun, and if your friends don't drink, do not fucking pick on them, and
Wow.
if you don't drink, don't fucking call out your friends that do. Be cool.
There we go. Respect each other's life choices.
I feel like that's important.
I will just say, if you like to have fun, go down that road. If you don't like to have fun, say no way. But also, take a U-turn.
Ride or die. Ride or die.
Ride or die.
You know, when we're all having fun, the world is fun, baby. And when we're not, hey, it's not fun. But this was I love this game.
This game
I
is-
think
this is
I
fun.
knew it does make me question a little bit about my life. That
You fucking won
Yeah.
like a lot.
brewer at this game.
You called this Saison, which again I think is very difficult to like place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Have a
called
little
it cold.
Yeah.
It's gone, baby.
Oh.
All right,
Oh,
I
man.
got more over here.
Yeah,
Oh,
we still
remember this?
both of these are still
Yeah,
full.
these
Guys love to drink. I don't know. It's over, but
Hey, take it from 3 bald dudes, man. Drink is fun, motherfucker.
3 dorky looking people.
Yeah.
No, you can
And
find
1 hunk.
You can find Unlabeled on Kickstarter now. And who knows what Pat looks like? He could be an Adonis.
I'm nothing but a pile of tentacles. That is established.
Which is an Adonis, depending on which culture you come from. Unlabeled is on Kickstarter now. This is not the final. Can we get another overhead shot?
Yeah.
This is not the final production copy, though I do believe this is the final design that they want for. This is going to be the final design for the game. So, like, already you can see that it's a very handsome board.
It's very pretty.
Very beautiful.
It looks like the kind of thing that you would very easily fit into most brew pub taproom
And
space.
like,
Yeah.
so many like breweries like that have that like room with board games in it.
They should all have this, yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Let me just
Who
wipe
makes this
Eli's
game?
score. This is actually a new game by a new publisher.
dope.
So this is sort of their title.
They
publication.
sent me the prototype copy of this game, to the point where the rules have like the instructions to the printers on it for where to cut everything. But it's a really cool game. There are not very many things that I think could be laid on this to improve it. Like, again, the thing that I want to see for it is an app.
Yeah.
And what do you,
I would say that, and I really do think that the alcohol should be its own separate betting.
Alcohol by Val.
That's like you get extra points for guessing the
I feel like guessing because like
that's a good
alcohol,
thing.
like because if you get a point for guessing the fermentation style versus the alcohol, and you just get a point, it's always easier to guess the fermentation. I feel like the alcohol guessing should just be something you throw on for an extra point.
I really, really like that, and that's how I would run it. If I kickstarted, if I was going to play this, I would be like fermentation style or ABV. You can choose.
I understand what the person's handle is, so I have to sing the song that it's from.
Worried song. I've kickstarted this. Thanks, One Shot, for pointing it out on Twitter.
Can you cut the audio or?
Can you just kill
It's okay. I think Eli's mic has either gone out or it fell, so he's a lot quieter than
Is
everybody
Eli's
else.
mic not working?
Just in the past, like 2 minutes.
It keeps falling off of his clip. So.
Yeah, very recently, and it's all been okay.
It has been.
Bye, everybody.
It's all been okay since that happened. Don't worry.
See you next time, heroes. Touch
man.